Guys, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Talking Watches. Today is Wednesday, September 10th, 2025, and this is episode 1636. For those who are new here, my name is Tim Wright. I live stream daily for 3 hours at 5 p.m. New York time, and we cover all the latest watch news, discuss the newest releases, sit down with collectors and industry insiders, and even take you behind the scenes at the watch events. Since this is my full-time job, I really rely on your guys' support. Sending a super chat or becoming a member allows me to do this show consistently every single day. Just a quick wristwatch check. Guys, tonight I'm wearing my Maurice Grossman Tremblage. It's one cool piece, slightly obscure, but it's got a really beautiful dial that uses a centuries-old hand engraving technique where the whole surface is hammered with a little hammer, and it creates this shimmering, almost frosted-like texture that shifts in the light. Beautiful effect, and it's uniquely German in its form and artisanal finishing. Let me show you. Absolutely stunning. Show you the finish there. Check it out. It's a very, very special piece. Just truly blessed to have something like this. Just very quickly, yesterday we broke down the 10 best watches from the Geneva Watch Days based on Monochrome's recap. Over 60 brands showed up this year, but only a handful stood out. So we debated design, value, and innovation, and the chat went wild over the brands that deserve the crown. If you missed it, make sure to go and watch the replay. Tonight, we've got a returning guest. It's a big deal. Pete Mitchell. You know him as Life with Pete on Instagram and from his YouTube channel, Pete Mitchell YouTube channel. I'm going to put the link in the chat to both of his social medias. Pete is the man of many passions: cars, watches, wines. He's not just a collector, he's a storyteller, someone who views each piece as a living slice of history. His motto sums it up perfectly: to collect is to hold history in your hands. The last time Pete was on Talking Watches, it was episode 1623. We explored his incredible collection and learned how his philosophy drives the pieces he chooses. Tonight, in part two, we're going to go deeper into stories, the hidden gems, and the mindset behind the collecting journey. We'll talk about his watches, his philosophy on collecting across different passions, and we'll open it up to questions so that the community can get involved too. Guys, it's going to be an incredible night of conversation. So let's make sure the chat is active. Send in your super chats and let's get into the show. Here we go. We got Pete Mitchell. Sir, welcome to the live stream.
Hi,
Uh,
Tim.
hey, how's your week been since the last time we spoke?
You're so sweet. Everything's good. You know, when you're healthy, you're happy, you got good friends. And anytime we can talk about watches, wine, cars, fashion, jewelry, we don't have problems compared to some people. So we're blessed, brother. We're blessed.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Just having good time and keeping the conversation going, the passion, and exploring new things that we would have never heard about. Last time, you introduced us to some very interesting pieces of jewelry, and we'll talk about them very soon. But did you get any fun rest time in with certain pieces?
I did, Tim. And thanks to all the viewers. You have an amazing show. Thank you for the education you bring. And got some pretty cool updates in the last 24 hours. I didn't think it would happen. I don't plan, this stuff. And so I have a car update. And then I didn't think, I'm so picky because, it's a lot of money, bank storage time, more jewelry, watches. And I got the big call yesterday in addition. So I've got a couple of things coming up, and I'm going to tantalize you and tease you. I've got a reveal going to come up in the next 30 or 40 days in New York. So I think we should stream live on what I'm getting in New York. It's a iconic piece globally. But yesterday I got the call and I went in. So I don't know if you want me to tease you and let you hang out there anymore, or should we go into what happened yesterday and then we can talk cars too a little bit?
Let's bring on Mike Lewis on here. Mike Lewis is going to join us for tonight's conversation. I think thank you so much for the very generous offer to live stream the pickup. I would love to do that. I think my audience would love to do the same thing as well. They would love to see it this. Maybe give us a little tease and then tell us about this new pickup.
Yeah, absolutely. And hi, Mike. Thanks for joining, and all the viewers. We appreciate y'all. And so let's talk. Hey, brother. Really cool. So last time I showed you all in March, I couldn't believe, the new Zenith El Primero Rainbow. You remember I got myself and Nicolas Cage got piece 1 and 2. So just to remind the viewers, sorry, we're working on the background. We'll get it better. But
maybe I can pull up a picture of it from your Instagram. It's the Zenith Rainbow.
Yeah. Zenith Rainbow, white gold, El Primero, 1/10 of a second. This piece is just iconic. And I've been enjoying that. But it's important I give you a little history on this, because yesterday I get a call from one of the storied authorized dealers, and they said, hey, I have a mutual. Well, I know you may know him. Some of these collectors are so massive, they just don't want to be, photographed or named. Some of the friends respect their privacy. And so they said, hey, Pete, our friend's been waiting for this piece. We heard you're going to drag them in. And if you do, we want both of you to have a piece along those lines. So I want to thank the authorized dealer, which has about 8 or 10 brands, 2 stores in Los Angeles County, Bindi Jewelers. Ron Bindi and family are well known. They're pretty legends, Rolex and IWC and Zenith and Tudor. And they're opening a store that's going to blow your mind at the new Rick Caruso Americana outdoor gorgeous palazzo retail shops. And so they have a 50-piece Defi Rainbow by Zenith commissioned by Bindi just for the family and their favorite collectors. So this is a 1/10 of a second El Primero skeletonized rainbow, stainless steel, and I have 7 colored straps, and it's open case back, and there's 50. They're not numbered in sequence. It just says 1 of 50. It's 1 of 50. You don't know which number you are, and it has the Bindi name on the open back on the back, and it's a really cool piece. And so it kind of blew my mind to have both of these babies on my wrist back to back. So talk about rainbow royalty yesterday, and apologize, viewers. We'll fix that blur soon. But super, super gorgeous, right? And
beautiful.
And so my VIP friend got one, and it was always his first. And then I dragged him into the store. He's a super busy guy. And Ron and his relatives, they run the 2 stores, and they're a really amazing authorized dealer for all, watch brands. And then if that wasn't good enough, they watch, everybody watches between your incredible show here and the social media. And they said, we know you've been waiting, and we know, for example, you have many Rolex dealers you deal with, but we know you go back to Watches and Wonders, etc. We kind of want to be first to give you one of the new pieces out here. So I've been waiting for months, and I'm going to grow moss on my ass, by the time I get one, right? But it was so nice. I got one of my favorite. I got the 41 OP beige or the sand watch yesterday. Can you believe only $6,500 from the 3 color dials? You have one in pistachio, you have one here, and then one of them doesn't come in 41. The third one only comes in 36. But I've been dying because I collect the 41 colored OP. I just think this is a clean, beautiful movement watch. It's not expensive, super valuable, and these are some of the hot pieces, as we know, out in addition to about 6 more. So you're the first to see it. I haven't even done social media on it yet, Tim.
Wow. Yes, these haven't been posted yet, guys. This is an official unboxing. First view right here. Bindi Jewelers Rainbow Defy Zenith and Oyster Perpetual 41 Sand. That is mind blowing. I love also the idea that Bindi, they got 7 different colors of the straps. You have so it's a rainbow bezel, but then you can match the rubber strap to the colors of the rainbow in the bezel.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. And you are doing similar type of thing with your Oyster Perpetuals, trying to create like a rainbow, one of each. That's the beauty of these Oyster Perpetuals. There's so many fun colors.
Yeah.
They're relatively affordable to other Rolexes, extraordinarily difficult to get. I mean, impossible. Nowadays, even just more common colors like the silver or the black, those are impossible. But these brand new ones are, wow. They go for massive premium on the secondary market. And a lot of the the problem is there's a lot of flippers who try to buy these and immediately flip them for profit. But it's always very cool when brands give these to true collectors. And there you go. There is the other 2, the coral red and the Tiffany blue Oyster Perpetuals. Wow.
Peter, can I ask a question real quick?
Yes, sir, brother.
Did you get all these watches mainly from Bindi?
So the 2 yesterday, Mike, I got from Bindi. The coral, 41 coral, my wife gave it to me as a gift, and that was from the first Rolex store in California, Frederick H. Rubel. My wife actually sold jewelry and watches 25 plus years ago with her dear friend Valerie Wilshire, and they worked at Tradition Jewelers and Frederick H. Rubel. So I got the coral from Frederick H. Rubel. The 41 Tiffany, I believe I got from Danny and Gabe at Happy Jewelers. I have to remember, but what was great, my wife kept ripping off. Oh, I'm sorry. Spouses don't rip off. They just borrow. So my wife kept borrowing the 41. I go, I'm going to shit a brick because, she wears a lot of bracelets and it's crashes, and I super shit a brick. And you don't really want to say anything because she knows more about jewelry than a lot of us, and I don't want to be condescending, but I'm like, I go, Frederick H. Rubel, you got to help me. So they sold me the 36 in the Tiffany. So we have 41 and 36. So Nikki wears the 36, and I'm just plumb happy about that. Right.
Well, his and hers. That's gorgeous.
The reason I asked you, Peter, about Bindi is because I watch a certain gentleman that has a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And he's a customer of theirs, and he's bought quite a lot of watches through Bindi, and he has said nothing but great things about them. That's why.
Yeah, and
as an AD.
Yeah, they are. They couldn't have been nicer. We did again to remind the viewers. Show up early, come, be on time, stay late, build relationships, have some food or beverage with people, show up to their events, give them referrals, do what you can to be a great customer and a great friend and a great brand ambassador. And I was so honored for them. We've had dinner with them a couple of times, and their new store is going to blow your mind. That one in the Americana, because they have 2. They have the Glendale Galleria and they have Artesia. And Glendale Galleria is going to flip to next door. And I'm going to tell you, it looks like an Italian palazzo outdoor.
Oh, wow.
And the store is massive. I mean, it's got 2 or 3 bars, full-time bartender. It's going to have private studios, VIP rooms, lounges. I mean, this store, for authorized dealer, people are going to be jumping in there, trying to get in there and get a space, you know. And I thought, since this beautiful cream or sand or beige, you know, 41 came into my lap yesterday, I was literally tickled pink. I couldn't grab it. I was very impolite. I couldn't grab it off the plate quick enough because they know how bad I love, you know, the new stuff. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to show the 41 Tiffany. I'm going to show the coral, which is discontinued. You know, I've had the silver and the black and the dark blue, but my other two favorites are the green, because it's classic Rolex green.
Sure.
You know, and so that was, and then just because it's not per se in the same line, it's not a 41 OP, but I brought my old from the late 70s, 80s. I brought my Jubilee 36 fluted bezel, date just, but it has the Tiffany co-stamp out of the vault. And that is a piece of history. It has the old box and the old papers.
Incredible. Where did you get this one?
A beautiful family and collector had it back east, and I saw it on one of the purchasing app. It might have been Chrono 24, or might have been through one of my dealers I use. And so I just, you know, I love it. And again, I apologize. I'll work on this, but this is just an old iconic piece. And it's funny, you know, like the kids, a lot of times younger collectors or older collectors, if they don't know watches, they're like, oh, I heard your watch guy. You know, I'm not really impressed with that. I go, I am. It's not about money. This thing on the, you know, the bracelet's still relatively in good shape. Jubilee, stainless, fluted. It has more of that. It's getting patinaed, you know, the dial. But to have that Tiffany co-stamp on Rolex, because people don't know, Tiffany's co-stamp, you know, did Rolex for about 5, 6, 7 years, if memory serves correctly.
They were doing, yeah. I've seen quite a few. Patek is really known for their Tiffany stamps. You have Pete, you have a very special relationship with Tiffany as well. You're a very loyal customer of theirs. You got you know, a number of Pateks, certain pieces of jewelry that we're going to talk about very soon. And although that Rolex is not an official Tiffany dial, it's so close it might as well be. Everybody calls it Tiffany. I call it Tiffany, although we probably shouldn't. But who really cares? We call it Batman, Hawks, right? All these things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's for sure. You're right, Tim. It's for sure a date just. And to have the Tiffany co-stamp stamp.
Incredible.
And as you said, there's only one, as a reminder for your viewers from last time. It used to be 3 or 4. Now we're down to 1. Right near you, the Tiffany landmark store on Park Avenue, there's only one Patek Philippe inside of Tiffany, and it's there. And Matt, the store director, is one of the great store director GMs and one of the great watch collectors and enthusiasts in the world. He is the son of a jewelry and watch repair, and Matt is an encyclopedia and lives and breathes. Can you imagine? Like, I don't know for sure, but let's say a normal Patek Philippe store gets 400 watches a year. And you know, if I'm wrong, let's say it's 500 or 600, or, you know, I mean, can you imagine how many customers they have, knowing that their watches are all sold? Either they all come with Tiffany box on the outside and stamp Tiffany and Co. on the papers, but not every Patek Philippe will carry the Tiffany and co-stamp from there on the dial, because Mr. Stern, for example, doesn't want the dial fouled. So above 5270, you won't see a Tiffany co-stamp on some of them. They're just too specialized dials. Can you imagine if you fouled a Grandmaster Chime or Sky Moon Tourbillon or something like that with the Tiffany and Co? So they will stamp, but they won't stamp everything, because I brought this to show the example. This gorgeous solid gold 5270 chrono from Tiffany, from Patek Philippe. And this is a Tiffany co-stamp, but they didn't put the stamp on the dial because this is that enamel fleur, you know, black dial, but it's the solid gold on the bracelet, but it comes with the box and paper. So this came from Matt at the store, but this doesn't carry the Tiffany and Co stamp. But you look at last week, I showed your viewers the 5961, the annual calendar with factory baguette, and this carries the stamp on the dial in the blue, which is amazing. This is the one we showed with the baguette and the pave. So
And you had a matching cufflinks for this one as well.
yeah. So it was nice to show people a little bit, you get above a certain model line, they just won't put the stamp on the dial, but both have box and papers from Tiffany, and they're very special. And now imagine if there's no Tiffany stamp anymore, or none of the Pateks are offered with the Tiffany. So these will become treasured items for people. You know?
And they're slowly kind of phasing it out as well, because like you said, there's only the Fifth Avenue boutique left where they will do it, and even there, they only do it on about like 20% of watches. That's what I heard.
Whatever it is, let's figure most of the Aquanauts, most of the Nautiluses, most of the complication, but only some of the Grand Comps. And when you get above a certain Grand Comp, forget it. It's not. Can you imagine? It's not going to go on the red dial. It's not going to go on the. It's just not. Can you imagine Grandmaster Chime? The greatest watch Patek produces, and then it's got Tiffany. They're not going to do that.
Interesting. Yes.
But it carries the box and papers. That's the thing. If you look at my Patek papers, it doesn't say like Patek Philippe. It says Tiffany and Co. So very special on the papers.
It's extraordinary that the Tiffany stamp became such a big deal, and the kind of a cult following almost in the watch community.
That's right. And you said Tiffany, so I had to get it out of the vault. My wife will miss it, and I have to go back to the bank tonight. But you wanted to see a piece of jewelry.
I did.
Are you ready?
I asked Pete to specifically take some jewelry out for us because we want to learn. Last time we just got a little taste of the bird on the rock, and since then I've been thinking about this for a very long time, and because just like in watches, there is design history in jewelry as well, and some jewelry, it made it into wristwatches. And actually, on the GPHG this year, the women's watch that was selected is a bird on the rock Tiffany and Co. watch with the bird inside. Guys, are you ready to take a look at this incredible piece of jewelry? Shout out to Mr. G. He says, Pete, welcome back. We missed you already.
Thank you, Mr. G.
Who wants to see it, guys? Let us know in the chat if you want to see it. And if you have any questions for Pete, put them in the chat. We're gonna bring up your questions, and we want to do a lot more answers from the chat this time than the last time.
Thank you. So all of you know, and if you don't, there's some great books on the history of Tiffany, because Tiffany and Co. and Mr. Tiffany and Patek and Philippe, started roughly in the 1800s, around the same time. So the companies have been longtime friends. And one of the great iconic designers, if you Google and read a little bit, is Jean Schlumberger. So Schlumberger really has amazing. My wife taught me about this years ago, and I started brushing up. They have amazing bracelets, amazing things. And Tim, you said it perfect. The bird on a rock became an iconic piece that everybody wears, men wear. Like you go to an event and, Jay-Z and some of these massive international global celebrity and collectors, but you'll have a bird on a diamond and they stand on top of a rock. The rock, if you're Jay-Z, it could be a yellow canary diamond worth $3.5–4 million. If you're one of us normal human beings, it might be a birthstone, and it ain't cheap, but it's good for us. So I'm really pleased. I wanted to wear the right contrast. Besides purple amethyst is my birthstone, it's also my fraternity alumni color. And so this is the bird on a rock by Jean Schlumberger, the full-size bird on diamond pave with little stones in their eyes. And then you have a gorgeous big amethyst a stone. And imagine if this was an emerald, a ruby, a canary yellow. My wife's is a citrine, And so this is an example. And I wear this at events, and I can't tell you how many compliments people give us, to wear something like this. And then Schlumberger makes, again, dozens to hundreds of pieces. This is the Calatrava cross, and the Calatrava is such a famous name in Tiffany and in Patek world.
Yeah. And then Patek, Tiffany and Patek. It's a perfect relationship between the two. And like what I really liked about this Jean Schlumberger bird on the rock stone is how it emphasizes the stone, because like when you put diamonds in the watch is emphasized, because the watch is the star and the diamonds just add a little bit of glisten. Whereas here, the bird is almost kind of suggesting, hey, this is something worth paying attention to. Check this out. Check what this thing is. And this allows for the stone to really pop. We've got so many incredible people joining us. We've got Humble Pine says, cheers to all. Great to see Mike and Pete on the panel. Tim, not so much. He's at the airport and heading back home from St. Louis. Cheers to HP. Hopefully he didn't get into any fights there under the arch. We've got Matt who's joining us tonight. Good evening. Goldfinger, the big jewelry guy. Knows a lot about this stuff, way more than me. We've got Miami Manny, a really good friend of the show from Miami. By the way, if anybody wants to join us live on the stream and ask your questions live to Pete himself, well, he's here, about any of the stuff that he's brought, the link is pinned. Everybody's welcome on the show. It's an open panel. Thank you, Mike, for joining us. What an incredible piece! By the way, here this is what Pete was talking about right here. There's Jay-Z wearing his Jean Schlumberger.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous. Can you imagine if you had a 30, 40, 10, 15, 20 carat canary diamond or emerald or something, and the stone on the amethyst is really big. To give you an idea, that these used to run 40, 50,000, still pricey. And then they went up to 90. And I remember I said to my wife, I said, we worked hard. We did good one year. I said, let's get one and let's not worry about if it goes up or down. And then they're up to 110, 120, 130 for the same stone. But I'm going to tell you, the clear diamond, flawless diamond or canary, they're 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4 million. And they came out with variants of the bird. There you go, right there, Tim. Like that, we've seen that piece. I mean, I'm like, shit, I need to put a burglar alarm on my lapel. I mean, you'd almost feel like super intimidated. Like Jay-Z can pull it off, Mark Wahlberg can pull it off. I mean, let's name some of our heroes in watches and jewelry. They can pull it off. I mean, especially if you have a security detail around you. But I'm just telling you, this stuff is super cool. It's amazing that there's this stuff out here, right? And I just want to tell people, I get more compliments from that, and they're going up in value. And if you have a chance to look, Tim, they came out with variants this year in the last Tiffany Blue Box show, and they have multicolor striped birds now, and those start at like 150, 200 and go up. So
I think I have it right
they're
here.
crazy. Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
Wow. Look at that.
This is incredible.
So, Peter, they start around 110 now?
Yeah, and it may be for a full size. They have smaller birds, Mike, but the full size stones are probably 115, 120 on up. And so, again, I want you to buy only what you love and wear, and don't expect it to go up or down. But like, look at the detail work on some of that. Like that one right there, it's either Savarite or it's emerald on the left with either a citrine or a canary stone. And look at the opal on one of them, and look at the tourmaline on the right with the purple. I mean, this is batshit crazy. I call it BSC, batshit crazy. Like, it's so beautiful. The problem is, like, you'd be fighting all the time with your significant other, because everybody would want to wear it, right? I mean, it's just crazy.
It's the reason why I like it is because I'm starting to understand. Tiffany is approaching this in a really strategic, collector-oriented way where they have runs, they're limited editions, and they're trying to get the biggest stones they possibly could get their hands on in order to kind of emphasize these. So what's happening here, the stone might be valuable, but also the collectability of them becomes very important as well, because they do it in these runs, and they have edition every year. They come up with new collection. So
Yeah.
there is it's kind of like collecting Submariners, right? Rolex Submariner. We'll look at all these reference numbers, just like a Rolex has reference numbers, and you can go through history. Oh, this is how Submariner evolved. In the same way, Tiffany is approaching this stuff and allowing it's for the first time ever that I've seen jewelry that allows the stone to take the center stage, because usually it will be in a necklace or something, and when it's part of the necklace, then you look at the composition, whereas here the stone is untouched. And just the bird is just there just to symbolize the collection run. So just absolutely incredible thing to witness. George Varghese, $5 super chat. Pete, rank your favorite jewelers. Graph, uh, HW. There's Harry Winston, Van Cleef and Arpels. My favorite by far is Harry Winston. Ooh, what do you think? What Graph? I think we can include Tiffany in there. Graph, Tiffany, Harry Winston, or Van Cleef and Arpels.
Wow. Wow. Sorry, Tim, go ahead if you.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
You
Question
know,
is for you.
this is a great question. So I've got to put two at our very top, and there's more I'm going to add to this, because let me tell you, my wife's really taught me a lot about this space. So I'm going to put Tiffany at the top for sure, and then I'm going to also put Chopard. The Chopard is just crazy, and this solid white gold rainbow with diamond pave, this thing must weigh a pound. And it is one of my favorite watches, and we're big collectors. Chopard has been coming on strong like a freight train. We mentioned last time that the son and daughter, Carl and Caroline, run the company. Caroline does the high jewelry and Carl does the watches, and they have Ferdinand Berthoud. They have all the cost certification. They have the Alpine Eagles. And remember, I believe I showed you my all-in-one last time. Did I show you my most complicated Chopard? I believe I showed you piece one of
but let's take a look at it
all
again.
in one. This is 14 grand comps, two-sided watch like the Grandmaster chime. Incredible. And so I'm going to put Chopard and Tiffany clearly at the top, and then I'm going to give a huge honorable mention to Van Cleef, to Harry Winston, to Graf that you mentioned. I'm also going to put Cartier on there. And I'm also going to put Martin Katz in Hollywood, a good friend. And I have some Instagram on him. He's a big celebrity to the stars and jeweler. He was in the Hamptons last couple of weeks doing an event. Martin and I did two big contents on both Instagram and on YouTube. And then I know I'm missing one more jeweler, because they're like, I'm gonna tell you, when you get into high jewelry, this stuff is unbelievable. It's unbelievable,
what they're able to do. It's just truly nuts.
And it's just crazy. Do you love I'm double wristing and one and one? The Zenith probably right now, Benoit, the global CEO, Ellen, the US president, and Jessica, the United States trainer and senior rep. Right now, they're smiling from ear to ear, because I've never double wristed on the same. I always double. This would be, if I do 4, this would be a double, which is also an excellent hamburger. In-N-Out Burger does a great double. So this is.
He said it should make you the ambassador.
I think I am. I told you they took me to the factory. I show up to their stuff. I love them. And there's something I can't even discuss till after October. They did me a great honor on something, and that's all I can go into, because I'm an old school gentleman when I give my word, and can't discuss it. So Zenith, I want to encourage all the collectors. If you're into all the great brands, Rolex and Patek Philippe and AP and Richard Mille and of course, one of my favorites in the history of the world, FP Jorn, and Chopard, and Tudor, and Jaeger, and Breitling, and IWC, and Panerai, and go on and on and on. But you really have to also get into a couple of other things, and one of them at the top 5 is clearly Zenith. Their movement used to power the Daytona Rolex, that El Primero with the high frequency 36,000 VPH, the 1/10 of a second. How do you beat it? And it's the showstopper. And then I can only bring so many pieces at a time from the bank because it's just not safe. But I brought one to kind of honor this. And so this is the VIP white gold GMT Pepsi, but it's actually the Saru. So this is the sapphire and ruby white gold Rolex GMT. And talk about color day, right? That's rocking it, right?
Wow. And you got the show part there with the rainbow as well. Four pieces with stones. A show part is just banging on all cylinders right now as well.
Hey, Tim, Peter doesn't stop, man. He's got them coming one after the other.
Well,
amazing.
It's kind of like Mike. It's kind of like going to church. Your parents taught you better get gussied up, and so we got to honor you and such a great show Tim's created and people globally. And again, I'm a nobody, but if I can educate tens or hundreds of thousands of people and create millions of friends and smiles. And I pulled up last night to one of the great restaurants in Newport Beach. Javier's is just unbelievable. The food and quality. It might be the most successful restaurant in California, and it may be the most hint successful restaurant in the United States. They have 6 of them. And I'm a nobody, and I get out of the car, and the guy points and he goes, "Hey, Pete Maverick Mitchell." I go, "Hey, bro, how you doing?" And he was half my age. Couldn't have been a nicer man. And that's what it's all about, right? If you get to reach people. We love people. We love kids. We love pets. Nikki and I married a little later. We don't have kids. And so this is our way of giving back and teaching. Because think how many decades it took all of us to get good in watches or car and wine. If I could educate people and get them quicker and get stuff more fulfilling and quicker, what a joy. And I want to give a shout out to, Booker, Damien in New York. I call him and I said, I got a friend's, son-in-law. I told you the story last show. Can you get him a piece? And he literally, they didn't give him one when the kid went in the store. He goes, "Pete, we're going to take care of him." This guy, college grad, he's a mature young man. He's probably not cried much in his life except losing his favorite football or baseball team. And the guy, I'm sure, started crying. To get your first Rolex is a big effing deal. It's a big effing deal from a boutique. I hate to say it, it sounds like petty, but guys, remember the first time you chicka bow wow, the first time you won your big game, the first time you got married, the first time you college, first time your kid's born. But, it's a big deal. And so to be able to give that experience to someone the first time they got their big watch or big experience, I think that's one thing we're all about. Don't you guys?
Yeah.
Agree.
It sticks with you forever. And it like when you started on the right track, it just you have good times. It reminds you of the good experience, and that good experience can carry you through life. But when people have to kind of struggle to get that first one, especially for something like a watch, it really is unfair because there's so many players in the field and they're trying to suck up all these watches for themselves. So it's good to kind of help each other out with advice, with some references. That's what it's about. So the genuine people who want this stuff and will own it for the rest of their lives, hopefully, can enjoy. George Varghese, thank you so much for the $5 super chat again. Pete, your thoughts on Jacob & Co. Any in your collection? Your favorite? Mine is Astronomia Dragon.
Great piece. Jacob, I've had the great luck and fortune to see and meet him twice in a famous bar, the Leopard Lounge in Geneva at the Friday, Saturday night. It is the place where adults go and beverage and smoke and be adults. And he is a baller extraordinaire. You know, he'll sit in there with some massive customers and he double wrists, and he's in there with his billion watch and the other one. He must have had at his retail price, he must have had $8 million on his wrist. So
Jeez.
gorgeous pieces, incredible jewelry, high jewelry. I've had a couple and I love them. But you know, to me, because I don't have unlimited money, storage, and time. And so like, I have to sometimes, if I'm not able to get them and I have a good relationship with them in New York, sometimes you have to get them on the secondary market if they're more affordable, because some of the stuff, I mean, let me tell you, he and Richard Meal's prices will melt your wallet. And, you know, a lot of us got to save those nickels one by one to do it. So I love him. But wow, I mean, his pieces are crazy. Like the roulette wheel one, or the Godfather piece, or the Bugatti piece is just crazy, you know?
Yeah, wristwatches is the kind of hobby. It doesn't matter how wealthy you are. You could spend literally all. You can spend all your money in watches, just like that. You snap two fingers. You tell me any amount of money, and I can help you spend it in one day. That's how it is. So you have to be very careful. You have to choose your battles, right? You've chosen stuff that's closer to you, people who you're working with there. You got happy jewelers who are helping you with the Chopard, right? That you picked up. That's a it was a $500,000 watch that you picked up for 100K. What an incredible deal you got on that one. So you can't chase everything. Uh,
Yeah, and I want to thank you, Tim. I want to give a shout out. You know, the wonderful questions we're getting here from the viewers. So, you know, I listed all the big name brands deliberately, but I didn't put, you know, my favorite, custom jewelry store and secondhand watch store, which you just named, in the world. If you said you can only go to one store the rest of your life, it's going
yeah.
to be Gabe and Danny Eric at Happy Jewelers in Fullerton, California. To think they have the key to the city, they do more sales tax revenue than Costco. They're
Wow.
keeping that city going. We don't have Hunt Wesson or Hughes aircraft anymore, but they are the global tour de force. And the jewelry they make, custom. So it's not a quote name brand, but the stuff you get there is unbelievable. Next time we do a show, I will show you those 30, 40 karat orange sapphire invisible cufflinks they made for me, which are
Wow.
just crazy. Just crazy.
Wow. Jacob and Co. started on the 47th Street here in the Diamond District, New York City. And he built up his brand from being a reseller to making his own custom jewelry and now making watches. And the latest, he has like a credit card and a building in Dubai that they're putting together
Hmm.
in collab there. So
Yep.
it's like these guys they're created the business in LA. Who knows where they're gonna go next? Maybe we'll see it. And say Avi and Co. I think Avi and Co. is also creating his own wristwatches as well. I think it's just a matter of time
Yeah,
for the Happy Jewelers
That
too.
that's exactly right, and that's why it was so cool for the Bindies to
Yeah,
do this, to collab on a Defi Rainbow with Zenith, and to do 50 pieces. You hit it on the head. That's kind of a natural progression. People
mhm,
want to branch out and try some cool things, you know?
yeah, because you wanna try at creating your own stuff. You're reselling others, but um, we see what's going on with Rolex. Rolex is pulling supply for certain from certain dealers, and then it's like, well, if everybody's going to go in the house and they're going to pull the supply, it's tricky. So you always have to kind of adapt and give your customers stuff that they want to get, because I think more so than anything, the customers are more loyal to the people who sell them these watches than to the brands themselves. You get these watches from Gabe over there at Happy Jewelers, right? It's you wanna help them, not so much as the brands that they're reselling. Even though we love the brands themselves too, but there's that relationship, and it's cool to get like that Bindi watch, right? That's not just a watch. That's not just the Zenith. That's a Zenith Bindi collab, It is incredible to have a piece of both, because you're working with Bindi directly. You're buying with them. You went to dinner with them, you dine with them, and Zenith, you walked the factory floor. They showed you how they make these watches. So to have those experiences kind of combined into a single piece that you can wear and remember all these great time that you had, that's what watchmaking is all about. Yeah. Also, we have another super chat from George Varghese, $5. Pete, your favorite jacket while driving your Ferrari? Keaton, Isaiah, Brioni, or Loro Piano?
You have G. You have great taste. So those are killer. If I'm gonna pick from those four, Ferrari does events and they'll give you a jacket a lot of times, or a pullover from Laura Piano. So I'm very partial. All of those four I wear. I love them. They're killer. But of those four, Laura Piano and Brioni are two of my favorites. But then I found a custom clothier who worked with some of these brands and people, and he went on his own, and all my jackets are custom made. This is my fraternity alumni. I have 25 jackets and they all have a theme. And so this one has my fraternity alma mater, and his name is Austin Taylor in Orange County, California. It's Ron Vigiano. So Ron will do that kind of quality, and he gets me fabrics from Laura Piano, and like a true tailor. And this has a banker stitching. This has, old London, type gold buttons, and you're not paying 10, 15,000. You're getting their quality, and you're paying well under 5,000, a jacket. And these are jackets, guys, you treat them good, and you dry clean them well. And I think you can keep jackets the rest of your life. And because, I drink so much wine, the greatest device known to man, Shout, creates these individual wipes, and it takes any stain out. So I carry two, because I love wearing dark colors when we're hitting the red wines. And, invariably my wife and I'll be like, shit, we spilled. So you pull one of these out, literally it is the 911 to stains when you're eating out. You will be a hero. And you can also get the ballpoint pen too, that takes it out. So that's an insider's tip from those of us that spill at will, right?
Wow.
Including a pen. So you just
Oh, wow.
wipe it out.
So you keep that on you in an emergency whenever you're out?
Oh yeah, and then only a true watch collector. Now, you're not supposed to ever set your watch with anything other than the metal pusher that comes. But if for some reason you have an emergency, Javier's carries these really sharp wood sticks for their beverages. And so in an emergency, if you hit it square and make sure it's not splintered so it could damage your piece, this makes an excellent pusher if you're desperate and you can't set your watch. So I'm just saying, I know you're not supposed to use it, but I'm just saying, you need to be prepared when you go out. It's a jungle out there. You need to have your extra battery pack if your phone dies. You need to have a washcloth at all time to make sure the piece. You got to do these things. Otherwise, you're in deep trouble. You got to be prepared nowadays.
Well, it's amazing how these small things can actually save you hundreds of thousands of dollars, if anything. Because like that jacket, it's incredible. The story, the places you wore it to, and having that why I'm actually ordering right now on Amazon.
I mean, I'm telling you, and go to Amazon, and I have the,
Yeah.
really a $2, light, for the loom, but to be able to carry just a little one in your pocket every time, why not? Because you can, right? And a pen. Let's carry the loom. And all my jackets have a theme. Some are Ferrari, and I have two themes. So the red one is Ferrari and red wine, because you can wear the red jacket to red wine, and if you spill, it doesn't stain. And then I have two watch jackets. Next time we shoot, I'll put the watch jacket on. I have all the brands on the inside lining, and I wear it to Geneva. And it also has extra pockets, so you can hold extra watches, and it's more weight bearing.
Oh, did you custom designed it with?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I have now, actually it'll be 3 watch jackets. So one has all of them in it, and I showed Francois Paul. It has FP Journe, Primetime, Happy Jewelers, Tiffany, Patek, everybody in there, and he couldn't believe it the first time I met him in Geneva. And then I created a Patek Philippe and Tiffany one with the Tiffany blue and the Patek Philippe chocolate brown, and I wear it always when I visit the Landmark store or a Tiffany Blue Box event in Beverly Hills, and they go wild when they see their brand. Now everybody wants me. I'm going to run out of money. You can't do a custom one for everybody, but I did another full brand one, and it's coming in a vibrant orange, like baller orange that you could wear to like Kentucky Derby, super bright. So that one will have all the brands in it. I mean, and I drive Ron Vigiano crazy on that because he's like, we can't put 20 names. Sure you can. Come on. Sure you can. Sure you can. You can do anything.
Wow. And that's gonna match perfectly your new car,
That
right?
was the other surprise. We may have, I don't remember if we covered it last time, but that new Dodici Cylindri is a real joy. And again, a shout out to Ferrari Newport Beach, Stefano, Brendan, and the entire team. They've delivered 3. This is car 2. This dark amber metallic orange, and the car 830 horsepower, naturally aspirated V12, 8-speed dual clutch, 9,500 RPMs in a V12, unheard of, and hand painted shields. And we did chocolate brown leather inside with light orange stitching and contrast to match the outside, and copper brake calipers. And I got to tell you, it's not me. I collaborate. I picked there's roughly three oranges that they have. They have 14 new colors for the Dodici Cylindri, this model, the 12 Cylindri. And the orange is just killer. And I've been wanting to do a killer orange because let's face it, Lamborghini and McLaren have beautiful oranges along with Louis Vuitton and Hermes. So this car, I'm already getting offers and you can't sell it for a while. So, I'm just loving it. And it came out great. I can't tell you, the input we got, the carbon, the spec, the colors. I'm curious on what all your viewers and your thoughts are, but I'm super grateful.
Hey, Peter, quick question. I had watched about 2 weeks ago, I watch Chris Harris occasionally because he's probably the best when it comes to car journalism. And he raved big time about the Cylindri. He said it's a much better car than the 812. How's your feeling?
So thank you, Mike. So he is right. It is even better, which we love the 812, but we didn't think you could get much better, but we always know it will. And we know the car it replaced, it was even better than that. So Ferrari's always able to up the game. And just to remind the viewers, whether it's this classic high-powered GT Berlinetta series, or it's their classic mid-engine racing car, they'll do a coupe, a spider, and then they'll do a hyper or track or a racing custom limited edition version coupe and spider. So in the 812, we had the coupe, and then we had the 812 GTS, Gran Turismo Spider, and then we had the Competizione coupe, and then Competizione Spider. And then in this one, we have 12 Dodici Cylindri coupe. Then we're going to have Spider. Then I think we're going to have a hyper version to this car. And this car is even quicker on its feet than the 812. The rev is insane. I had it to 7,000 as a rev limited counter on the top of the steering wheel as an option. So you don't have to even look at the dash, and you can start to tell if you're redlining. So you can, in addition to the noise, the incredible engine sound, and it wasn't even going off. That tells you this thing probably doesn't even start breathing till 6,500 RPMs, which is insane for a V12 or 7,000. Insane. It is a better car. Wow. And it is truly a joy. It is Enzo Ferrari would be smiling down right now, seeing what his fruits of his achievements and vision have created. It created a company that's so iconic. Ferrari truly is one of the great. And look at that reverse way the clam opens up. And I love that. You can see the exposed tire on there.
What do you think? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
What do you think today? I don't know if you saw the new release, the 849 Testarossa. What do you think about that one?
So I really loved it. It replaces that replaces the SF90 Coupe and Spider and the SF90 XX Coupe and Spider. And so while the SF90 hasn't been holding secondary market value, it is an incredible car. So hats off to the SF90. Now, the Ascento Fiorano or track package in those cars did not offer the lifter. And I know a lot of people get into trouble when you're scraping your car. You're so low to the ground. And so the Testarossa has been badged twice before, the old 250 and the one in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. And so to have that name, wow, to have the square look coming off a more mature, there it is, SF90 look, along with it's very 12 cylindri-esque also in the front. And then you see those two fins in the back. The Ascento Fiorano package and the Testarossa, now they offer correctly the lift in the car. And if you get that, the car's 30 kilograms lighter, and it has the carbon wheels, and you get those fins in the back. And I must say, if you show a profile of the car from the back with that Ascento Fiorano package, I think that looks very SP3-ish in the Icona series, the Monza. And that is a hell of a look. I don't care if it, makes money on the secondary market or not. I think that Spider would be incredible to have because the SF90 certainly drives wonderful too.
Oh, wow. It is a very interesting look. It's got some DNA of your car in there as well. That front,
Daytona kind of look in the front.
Totally.
Yeah.
The old Daytona.
Totally. The old Daytona, the 12 Cilindri, and this are all kissing cousins. They all have a little of their DNA. But I got to tell you, the stance on this car, the name on this car. Now, imagine when they go through the Coupe and Spider on this, and they bring out an XX version or whatever they call the hyper version, as people are going to lose their minds. That's the one thing, because we're all mortals. You can't order them, get them quick enough, save up your money, get the next one quick enough, because it is a public company. So they're going to be under pressure to take deposits and keep releasing. But you can't enjoy them long enough, get them quick enough, because the next car is coming. And so it's a real struggle, because I know people want them all. And it's such a custom company. They make so much of these by hand, these cars still off the production line. If you are a Ferrari owner, please go to Maranello. If you can go with somebody who is, let me tell you, getting the Ferrari tour is the Arlington National Cemetery. It's the holy of holy grounds of cars, and it's an experience you may not forget. And if you get a chance to drive on their private track, Fiorano, or hear or see somebody driving on Fiorano, I was pretty balled up when I got to drive on there several times for many days. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Just going back to your car. I have some questions. I have like a few questions that I want to first connect the watches and cars, and then I want to ask you some stuff about the car. So the cars and watches, how does that connect for you as a collector? Are they expression of design, performance, or is it about the passion?
Yeah. So I think you hit it, and I think it's all. And we all know the Formula One, Indy, and championship professional motor racing has always co-branded the speed, the look, the style, the panache. Rolex was brilliant in coming up with this, and then Tag and others adding to it. But to me, the quality, the craftsmanship, whether it's a fine vehicle, a gorgeous constructed Bordeaux or white Burgundy, or a wine, a car, if you're a firearm collector or a target shooter, or anything with precision engineering, Porsche and others, you're going to really, I think, to answer your question, Tim, it goes hand in hand, because you really respect the custom craftsmanship and the look. It's both look and form and function. And that's what I mentioned to you. FP Journe is just the pinnacle right now on solving problems that were never solved in watchmaking, horology, and creating a fit and finish unlike anything we've seen. And I think Ferrari's been doing that for, since the 40s, 50s, 60s, solidly.
And do you think, do you feel like Ferrari captures the same DNA in their cars that brands like Patek or Rolex do in watches?
I do. I think Ferrari is one of the, if not the greatest brand in the world. And they have certainly kept true the passione, the passion, the sound, the feel. And that is not taking away. For those of you know, I drive and collect other brands as well. It's just Ferrari's my top and my favorite. But others have that. So they've kept their DNA. And Patek certainly reminds me of that, a true gentleman's watch. And then I got to tell you, FP Journe is just, every time I take it out of the bank and I wear it, that vertical tourbillon, and hopefully every year or year and a half or two, I'll get another one from them. And I don't think there's a hotter or more respected watch than FP Journe. And I don't think there's a more respected car than the brand of Ferrari or Bugatti or Pagani or Porsche. And there are several others. And let me pause right there and keep answering your questions, Tim.
Let me play a little clip here that I think everybody will really appreciate. It's something that I found yesterday, and I think everybody is going to get a kick out of, and get your guys' reaction to what you think about this.
So Ferrari once asked Alfa Romeo for a job. They rejected him. So he built Ferrari, today worth over $79 billion. Years later, a man named Ferruccio Lamborghini gave Enzo advice about his cars. Ferrari mocked him. So he built Lamborghini, now one of the most iconic sports cars in the world. Then came Horacio Pagani, working for Lamborghini. He asked to build cars entirely out of carbon fiber. They said no. So he left and created Pagani, building some of the most stunning hypercars the world has ever seen. Years later, a man named John Hennessy reached out to Pagani asking for engines that could break speed records. Pagani declined. So Hennessy built his own and launched Hennessy Performance, making some of the fastest production cars on earth. Every rejection is a chance to build something greater. If they say no, good. If they say it can't be,
So there you go. I thought that was really powerful, because I think that this is what a lot of the collectors are kind of chasing there, and how progress is made every time somebody says no, it's just it's a driving force behind pushing forward.
100%. 100%. That was a great clip.
Thank you. So going back to your car here, 12 Cilindri. How's it pronounced again? How do you pronounce?
So if we say the number, if we speak the number 12 in Italian and add the word cilindri, I believe it's dodici cilindri.
Dodici Cilindri. So like it proudly highlights the naturally aspirated V12 engine, the heart of Ferrari's high performance DNA. Do you think this is like Ferrari, Ferrari putting the like oil engine front and center, or do you think these hybrids and EVs are going to take over eventually?
So this is a terrific question, and we as collectors and students and humble enthusiasts of Enzo's passion, we ask this all the time. And they have a great CEO, Benedetto, in Ferrari. He's an incredibly humble, focused, gracious leader, and he's answered this question, which is beautifully. He recently said, we're never going to give up on the gas engine, but we're going to also add other classes because this appeals to a growing class of different customers. And it also adapts the company over time. When they came out with the SF90 Coupe and Spider, and then the 296 Coupe and Spider, people said, hybrid, how can you do that? And how can you go to a V6 twin turbo and hybrid in the 296. And I shared with you my 296, one of my favorite cars of all time, the sound and the feel and its massive power. It's just, it's unbelievable. So Ferrari's going to bring out an all electric car in the next, I believe, several months. Stay tuned. The gas, they didn't leave a purely naturally aspirated V12. And they also have patented, I saw 8 months ago, another smaller and even more powerful gas version of the V12. So I believe they may keep the V12 either naturally aspirated for a little while longer or naturally aspirated plus a hybrid to be determined. But that's good. In the mid-engine Ferrari, the racing Ferrari, the classic Ferrari, 308, 328, 348, 360, 430, 458, 488, and right up on the F8, 296, right up the line. The last one that was naturally aspirated was the 458 model. And after 458, the 488 became twin turbo V8. So I believe they will have an all electric car in the next couple of months. They're going to continue with pure V12s and naturally aspirated. And I believe they're going to also keep gas engines with hybrid and superior power plants to increase emissions and increase the fun and having them more compact. And I believe they will even go beyond that. I believe they will have all three classes of engines. I think they've addressed that. They're going to be one for all, but they're never going to stray from their original gas engine. That's cool.
And it's very cool that they decided to stay with these V12s and not completely switch over.
Hey, Peter, question for you. Regarding about the plug-in hybrids, there seems to be a little bit of a rejection from the car buyers, the true aficionados. I mean, I've seen it with the Arturo, with the McLaren. It's been kind of hasn't been really being truly accepted, and as also, like as you said, the SF90 being a plug-in has not been, hasn't been really a loved car, I would say, and I think. Do you think that it might affect also this new Testarossa being a plug-in also?
I answer it this way. My personal opinion, Mike, is I respect if a person, a consumer, a great collector doesn't like something. That's your right. It's so great to live in America. You can like and dislike anything you want. But I will tell you, I've driven every one of them and either have most of them. And the SF90 Coupe and Spider, it may not hold the value on the secondary market, but the car drives fantastic. So that V8, exactly, that V8 twin turbo and hybrid, almost 1,000 horsepower, is incredible. And when you're in the battery goes about 15 miles in pure electric mode, and the pure electric mode only has so much range, and it'll be powered by the front axle 2 motors only. And then so it's very specific on how this car and the SF90 and the Testarossa will work. But I think they're terrific cars because it gives you, if you get the sound and you get more performance and you have better mileage, not that you're worried about mileage, but it doesn't suck having, a quiet car. Cause we live in a small community, and you blow your neighbors out of bed in the morning when you start the damn thing, and you really want to be a good neighbor. So I started in electric mode, and I go whisper quiet and creep out. And then I started on the street, blah, and everybody's cats and dogs wake up, and you're like, what the hell? And so I will just tell you, they drive great. But am I a purist on a V12? Yep. But even if they someday add a hybrid to a V12, it isn't going to suck. It's going to be great.
Of course.
So that's the thing, but I respect, like, I'll have massive collectors and they'll be like, Pete, I want nothing but an original gas. I love that. Cool. I mean, it's like, if you have an old Bordeaux or old red Burgundy or a beautiful white Burgundy, somebody may say, I just drink Bergs. I'm not drinking Bordeaux. I'm good with that. But Bordeaux's nothing but stunning. And God knows this person drinks a bottle a week with friends, and clients and business. So that's my opinion, Mike. I just think there's nothing wrong, and they drive beautifully because you're getting the sound and the feel, and you're getting better range and mileage. And by the way, the one thing that's fun, if you have a V12 Ferrari, they don't particularly tell the gas mileage correctly with the fuel. So a friend that is a much better and longer collector than I always said, "Oh, it's your first V12." When I got the Lucid, he goes, "Yeah, when it tells you have half a tank left, you're probably almost empty." And so I'm like, "No, that's bull. I don't believe it." Because the gauges are so hyper accurate for racing. And man, I went to the gas station on a fluke and I put like almost 19 gallons of gas when it was just under a half. So V12 owners, beware. Do not fall, as Eddie Murphy would say in Beverly Hills Cop, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't fall for it. If you got a V12, fuel it up. After, if you're driven a while, you're like, oh, the gas hasn't gone down much. There's a reason. It ain't telling you, it's just meant to keep driving. It doesn't want to piss you off that you don't have any range left, right?
That's funny.
Yeah.
What do you think about the high-tech interior and the advanced aerodynamics? Can the digital cockpit live harmoniously with the analog soul of the roaring V12 engine in there?
Yeah, great question. So all of us that are students and enthusiasts and owners and drivers, the old gauges and instruments were super fun. Everybody was complaining we didn't have, a Bluetooth, and then we didn't have a nav screen, and or just even on one of them. It doesn't mean it has to have it on every one. So Ferrari got more contemporary. Now, when the SF90 came out, we saw the haptic or more pure digital stuff. Now, that shouldn't be confused with Apple CarPlay, wireless or plugged in, coming on the main screen is super cool and helpful. A lot of us like to see our directions, and we want to hear our playlists. And everybody's been going away from plug-in and now more wireless, which is great. The haptic is very difficult to use at times in the SF90 and 296. And so I'm happy to say the Testarossa, they're going back to more hard buttons. And so that was Ferrari listening to their customer and realizing you just can't really, I'm good on it because I have, again, SF90s and 296s, and I'm getting the Speciale 296 also. But I think going to tactile buttons is correct because you can be more precise, not take your eyes off the road, and not get frustrated at your driving experience. And I would argue when you're in such powerful machines, you need to really focus on the car and not be futzing around in it. And so this car, the 12 Cilindri, has great electronics. It's still a teeny bit fussy, but not too bad on the haptics. It's better than SF90 and 296. But it works well. This one's roughly the best one of the haptics, but the Testarossa will go back to more of the other. Great question.
Thank you. We got Sean joining us on
Hello,
the
Sean.
live stream. He's a
Hello,
local
gentlemen.
from LA
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello,
and a
Hello,
big car
Timmy. Hello,
enthusiast.
Peter. Hello,
Hi,
Mike.
Hello.
I just jumped on quickly to first congratulate you on the beauty that you acquired. It's fan, and thank you for sharing it with our community. I just sent you a photo. It's not at the Ferrari Center, but I gave you a clue as to where you think I just had lunch at, and the clue is in the butter.
Ooh, here we go.
You are so good. My pleasure to meet you, Sean. You're a terrific dresser, such a gentleman, and I can't wait to see the butter and where you're at.
Here we go.
And by the way, Peter, I just wanted to also make sure to see if there's any way we can have you join our get together next week. Tim, I confirmed the reservation as we discussed.
Thank you.
And Mike better be there.
Yes,
and
sir.
then hopefully Peter will be there. We'll have your name on one of the chairs.
You are so sweet. I think I have it down. I think I have this down from weeks ago when Tim approached me. So I think it's on
Perfect.
my calendar. And you may say, Pete, you don't know. I'm going to tell you, I know what I do and what I don't. And what I don't is to remember where I'm going every day. So if it wasn't for the calendar, I couldn't even tell you when it's time. I have to go out and Well, that is a very specific look, and
Pete
that
is really good with the calendar. He sent me a confirmation. I need to start using calendar like that, Pete. I'm learning from you.
got to. And I got to tell you that pretzel bread that looks like the Porsche experience, if I'm not mistaken. But I could
Yeah.
be
That's
wrong.
right.
Porsche.
The
You
butter looks
nailed it.
like
And
Porsches.
I tried to give you guys the back view of the butter, so it would be a little bit easier than the front.
You
There's
are
a little bit more definition.
tremendous, Sean. You're such a gentleman, and that let me tell you.
Thank you. Very kind of you.
Oh no, it's well deserved, sir. And I love bread, and not I try to eat the double O flour for pasta and breads because if you notice the European, Middle Eastern, Italian, French, Switzerland, Greek, nobody gets really heavy, but when I eat our starchy breads and stuff, you get heavier. And those of us that are older got to keep those pounds. And I never forget, I was doing one of my races, and one of our great instructors at Ferrari is a 24-hour Le Mans and Daytona champion, and Didier, and I saw his Daytona engraved from winning it, and I just about freaked the shit out. But then he said, "Okay, everybody, you're gonna race tomorrow, so have fish or pasta." And I never forget, I was like, "Pasta?" And he's like, "Oh, Pete, not the crap you guys eat, the fatty stuff like Shakey's Pizza or something." And I'm not, by the way, I love Shakey's Pizza. I love Shakey's Pizza, and I love their fried chicken and Mojo. So I'm just saying it lovingly. I'm a Greek diner kid. My dad made us always eat at coffee shops and diners.
Yeah.
But to keep the weight off, so you have the good bread, and that pretzel bread is kryptonite for me. I could eat that shit in the butter all day. And who has the best butters? It's expensive, but if you're in Vegas, go to Joel Robuchon in the MGM Hotel. They have a butter cart and a bread cart, and they have about 20 breads that come around, and you could just do the bread and the butter and call it a day. I'm just telling you, and the dessert.
I'll write that down so I don't forget.
Yeah.
Peter, as always, a pleasure, and again, thank you for your kind remarks. And coming from someone like you, with all the style that one can one day hope to have, and with the toys that you have and the good taste you have. Thank you. That means a lot to me. And Mike, take care, my man.
You too.
And Timmy,
Sean,
look forward to seeing you. Good luck on your fasting, my friend. Hey, I'll return the favor. Anytime you feel like, it's getting tough, call me. I don't care what time it is.
yes.
I'll return the favor.
Oh, okay. You
I'll
got
be your
it.
coach.
I'll be your
coach.
You got it, Sean. Thank you so much
Take
for
care,
hopping
gentlemen.
on. Pete, regarding what you were saying about the European pasta does not make you like gain weight. It's actually I've been learning about this stuff because I did a fast. Basically, you don't eat anything, just drink water, and I did a four-day fast, and I learned so much from that experience because it's truly incredible what your body goes through, and it actually inspired Sean to do a 5-day fast because that's the best like for health wise. That's just about like losing weight, but it's also it activates your metabolism. So people who are struggling with weight loss, it's a really good way to do it. And I'm going to be doing a 7-day water fast starting today. Yeah, I'm embarking on the journey, and it's actually really good for health. It's the what it is. It's the ultra processed flour that we have in our bread over here. What they do, they ultra process, and they have to put all kinds of fillers back in to make it. So it's super unhealthy. But in Europe, they have like all these restrictions, these crazy, super restrictive laws that guide how they can process the flour. So their bread, their carbohydrates, is actually not as bad for you as the stuff we have here.
That's right.
So yeah, yeah. So just a little thing there. Hopefully, I'll make it through. No, I know I'll make it through. It's actually really fun. I have just maybe two more questions here regarding Ferrari, and maybe we'll go back to watches. How's that sound?
Oh, whatever you want. You point and shoot, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I'm at your disposal.
How much more time do we have? Because we're already on for 1 hour 20 minutes. Last time I think we were for an hour and 30. I don't want to keep you too long. I know you're very busy.
Thank
Maybe
you, Tim. You want another 10, 15 minutes? Is that good?
um
You want
Yeah,
20
let's
minutes? You want 20 minutes?
let's do 25 minutes. How's that?
Sounds good.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, because I have quite a few more. Actually, I have 3 hours worth of questions, but let's be reasonable here. Features like four-wheel steering and driver modes aim to tame the big GT. Do these technologies enhance the driving experience, or do they dilute the visceral nature of the true V12 Ferrari?
Yeah, so I don't believe any of my V12 Ferraris have had the rear wheel steering. Like my wife's full size Range Rover with beautiful hybrid, so you get the incredible engine, but you get better mileage,
Mhm.
and and that turns really tight for a big vehicle, and that works well on it. I don't believe, and I'm trying to think, I don't believe I've seen rear wheel steering on Ferraris, but we certainly, when let's see, the first one to do it would have probably been the Lusso. The Lusso has four-wheel drive on low speeds up to about 30, 40, 50 miles an hour. And then it favors rear wheel drive. The SF90s, which I do love, I have both Coupe and Spider. Forget the value. I saw the question from one of the great viewers. I do love them, but those went to all-wheel drive. And I almost think you need to, these cars can be very dangerous and you must respect them. And one thing for those of us, I have a simulator, I race, I practice, I train. You have to let the car warm up, and you have to not, as a ski instructor would say, don't get ahead of your skis.
Yes.
And you've got to be careful. We had a legendary Ferrari owner left the dealership in an SF90 and punched it cold and wrapped the car around the tree across the street and almost killed himself and family member. And of course, he's a great person, didn't mean to do it, but it shows you the all-wheel drive won't save you, or even on an incredible Plaid Tesla, if you're not careful. And that has one of the best asymmetrical all-wheel drive systems out there. So be very careful, warm up the cars properly, get tire temp up, check road conditions. And you're in residential areas, don't punch it too hard without knowing what the car will do and knowing how you react, turning into the spin and staying with the car and not losing it. Because you can not only hurt yourself, you can hurt somebody else. And so that's my opinion. And I love the all-wheel drive. I think it's fantastic. I've not seen most of the new cars and the Duodeci Cilindri, Tim, you can turn off the favoring the car, I believe, in the lanes. I believe you can turn it off because it will pull you back. And so for older drivers, it's helpful. If you're a young buck and have superior reflexes, you're not going to like that. But you can mostly turn off a lot of the stuff. And you could go from wet or sport, wet, snow, sport, race, track, and CT off. I call it skull and crossbone. When you go to everything off, you better be very careful in that car. Very careful.
Well, it's incredible that they have all these features in the modern cars. Now, why might someone like you, Pete, be drawn to the uh, Cilindri? Is it the performance, the conservatism? Is it the legacy, or is it something simply emotional connection to Ferrari's purest form?
That's a great question. Again, I think Enzo Ferrari, started, his technology, his cars, nobody could believe what he did. And the V12s are the legendary Ferrari pieces. The sound of a Ferrari V12, they're always tuned to perfection on the sound.
Mhm.
There's nothing like it. The sound from behind it, if you're following it, is just like a symphony. And it just blows your brain, your mind, how it sounds. So I think the emotional connection to a V12 Ferrari and having those hand painted shields on a car revives me of the past pedigree and history. And I wish we get more stick shifts and not only F1. I love the F1 transmission. The F1 and the Dodici Cilindri sounds so racing-esque. It's so quick. Bark, bark, bark. the way it blips. And it's like if you were trained as a driver, you used to have to, if you had a stick, you would feather the pedal and the clutch and create that perfect balance where you could even shift without doing the clutch, and you could create that blip. It's called blip the throttle. And so that's a skill when you're driving a stick car. And so the Ferrari F1 paddles, they started offering them, and I'm trying to remember, I'm going to guess the Barchetta 550, 575, and probably the 360. I don't remember if the 348 offered paddles going back that far. But to me, that connection on the V12 and the sound, is it the quickest Ferrari? No. Is it the most nimble Ferrari? No. It is a badass car. But that sound and that tactile feel off a V12 Ferrari going all at it, it's pretty special stuff.
I have a little video here to play off the engine, so we can hear it together. These are just like random clips, so I'll just play one just for our audience. More.
Oh wow! Wow. That's the FXX. That's some crazy stuff there, team. Wow.
So crazy engines here.
Peter, I think the 812 had one of the greatest exhaust sounds.
I do too. And the Competizione, I think
Competizione,
the Competizione coming off the 812 line, and the best exhaust may be the TDF version, the hyper version, the Tour de France. So TDF and Competizione. I was behind my good friend Paul's TDF one time in a Ferrari race, and he opened it up, and my wife and I were like, he just blew the doors off us. What the hell was that? And she's like, and she was pretty startled because, man, if you're going to lose your shit, what a way to go. I've never heard anything like it because it sounded like an F1 car.
Tim, pull the 812 Competizione. That is like aggressive sound, really.
Okay, let's see. Ferrari V12. How do I spell it?
812 Competizione.
Competizione or Ferrari TDF. Those two cars are.
The exhaust sound is incredible.
Incredible. You just, I can't stress.
Peter, isn't the actual Ferrari sound patent? They that sound is very exclusive only to them.
So I think that's right, and I think that somebody has commented on the new all-electric Ferrari that will come out anytime, that there's even ways to play their audio in the car, so you can pipe the audio, so you get that feeling of the car. We'll see if that's true. That's what I've heard.
I'm trying to find it. You said
Ferrari 812.
812.
Mm-hmm. TD, right? You said TD.
So in the other, just right, Ferrari Tom, Dick, Frank, TDF, Ferrari TDF.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
And try that car. The TDF is crazy sound.
Here we go. I got it. There we go.
It's a stunning car too. It's a stunning car.
Listen to that. Look at the gills on the back.
Look at the rears, yeah. Very aggressive.
Oh yeah. Let's play another one here. Wow.
The Tiffany.
And that's stock.
Oh.
That is a fire-breathing dragon and hydra unleashing. And you tell me if that doesn't instill every bit of emotion and passion in you, there ain't much. Then take out the paddles and defibrillate me if I'm not breathing after that.
Okay. Let's paddle shift back to watches, and we're gonna race this show to completion. I got final 3 questions for you, Pete, and then we're gonna let you go. so you can enjoy your life. Here we go. So, looking at your collection today, what pieces surprised you the most? One that maybe grew on you over time.
Yeah. So two of my recent favorites, because I have about 10, but
Yeah.
just very, very, very
Yeah.
recent, that blew me away. The all-in-one show part, 14 Grand Comp, two-sided. I don't have particularly large wrists. Oh my God. It's not, Grandmaster Chime, or it's not this, or it's not, a Richard Mille. And that watch, to have piece one of that series, they have, I believe, 15 in 3 series in that one. And to have that look, and the guilloche and the enamel and the perpetual calendar and the diamond bezel, blew me away. And then I would,
I can add to that that
yeah,
remember we had a poll going.
yeah,
What's the best jewelry uh, place? Actually, Chopard amongst the viewers took the number one spot.
I love it. I love it. And I didn't actually see this piece or wear it. I showed it last time, but one of my favorite watches of all times, and most beautiful. And again, I wasn't going to be able to touch it at the height of COVID. It was 450, 475 on the secondary market, because who could get one from Rolex, off roster VVIP. And the Sky Dweller meteorite in full pave on Oyster Flex with diamond is one of the most beautiful, incredible looking watches of the history of watchmaking. And this is on Oyster Flex. They have one on pure diamond bracelet, which I think there's only 10 of them total, and it's still it's 800,000 or 900,000 or $1 million. But this piece in the sunlight is so incredible. I can't even stress what this piece does to you. And you didn't think it looked that good till you got one. And you got one, and even Gabe and Danny and Happy's, when it arrived, they went, "Oh my God, this thing is just." I mean, you feel like you're Mark Wahlberg or Jay-Z when you wear it, because you can't believe,
Wow.
or John Mayer.
A lot of people they're kind of a little bit shy of diamonds. They think it's a little bit gaudy, but it's not until you try it, right? Like it's something when you try it on, it really grows on you, and you start to kind of maybe understand the power of those
Yeah,
diamonds.
yeah, because I think it's whatever. It could be ruby, sapphire, emerald, tsavorite, diamonds,
Mm.
baguettes, whatever. But the high jewelry pieces, most of them use the same high jeweler, and they're set manually. Rolex does absolutely flawless gem setting,
Yeah.
and same with FP Journe, Patek Philippe, and most of the Chopard, of course. And so Chopard will do their own, I'm sure, work, but most of them use all that company out of house to gem set. And you have to really respect the craftsmanship and the gem setting, no matter what watch you pick. It's crazy what they put into them. It's crazy.
You were recently looking at a really special Chopard watch. It's with their like the Day of the Dead skull. What did you think of this one?
I'm I love you all, my family, friends, and especially my wife more than anything. I'm just going to tell you, it's up there. It's I saw the gem set. It reminded me of a Grandmaster Chime with the high jewelry option, because it comes, as you know, in all diamond, or it comes in emeralds or rubies, I believe. No, it comes in all diamonds, emeralds, and sapphires. And emerald with the diamonds is a incredible look. And this is a minute repeater, open case, and Chopard has I know it's not supposed to be overly loud. It's supposed to be what it is, but
Yeah.
Chopard does a great job making them extra loud, so us older folk can hear it. And you can hear a Chopard minute repeater across the room. That's how brilliant it is. The metal and the sapphire case, crystal case. And this piece made you feel like it's a Grandmaster Chime without paying. I believe the Emerald Grandmaster Chime's 4.4 million right now without the tariff. And so this was 550,000. I got down on knees and I said, please, I'll sell anything. I need the piece. And the Chopard family is just amazing. Carl, Caroline, Maxime, the chief of staff, Johann, the watchmaker, Marcello in the U.S., and of course Jean-Louis, who runs the Costa Mesa store, who's a true watch aficionado and a gentleman's gentleman. This is, I don't know how many they have. It may just be a one-off, but I'm guessing there's 3 to 5 pieces. I heard it sold, and that piece gives you that look and feel of the Grandmaster chime, and I can't say it doesn't break the bank, because over 500 grand is a lot of money, but look what you're getting for it. Now imagine if that piece came out and not just a minute repeater. I hinted to your viewers last time I was on, they're going to come back out with a Grand and Petite Sonnerie. Grand and Petite Sonnerie with a minute repeater is the greatest audible complication you can get. FP Journe had a Grand and Petite Sonnerie. Patek still offers a Grand and Petite Sonnerie. And that's crazy. Just crazy.
Wow. It's high art, high end, top of the level.
Horology.
Yeah, horology,
Yeah,
exactly.
beautiful.
And Chopard, they're dominating right now. Pete, do you see yourself as a curator of history, or more of someone who's writing your own story through your collecting?
Well, so it's hard to. These are really tough questions. So
Mm,
I want to always carry the history forward. I think it's really important that we learn it. But I'm not good enough to replicate history perfect, and I'm not, unique enough to, I'm a normal human being, and I'm just blessed to have what I have, or the experiences I have. So I'm gonna write it a little bit to my script, because it's what I like, and that's what people
Yeah.
like. Like I try to be always authentic, and there's not stuff I really hate, and I don't think I need to put it in the negative, because I'm always mindful. I don't want to turn somebody off, because what I may not like, somebody may. So I don't want to ever tell somebody, don't do that. I'll say, hey, if you're going to buy it, like, this piece isn't worth that much if you need to sell it down the road. So be mindful. Try to keep a piece always when you get it new from a boutique. And if you like this color, buy it, as long as you can afford it and you wear it. Don't put something in garage, clean it. Don't buy a car always and just throw it in the garage, or a watch in the bank vault and not use it. So I try to give just stuff I think that's helpful, but I really like people that have different tastes. And this is one thing too, I really love my inexpensive pieces by dollars, but they're not inexpensive by love. I mean, I've shown you this piece before, and I don't think there's a better piece for under $300. It looks like 10,000. And then the 1983 E-line stainless steel flexible band Timex. Mr. Wonderful wore this on TV, and when I saw it, I had to grab it. And the minute I get one or two, every family member, or even Danny and Gabe, are like, hey, can you get me one? I have a customer that needs it. And they're really hard to get. $250, $300. It looks like the pure Tiffany blue, comfortable, flexible strap. And what's a better piece? 1983 E-line. This is like gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
It's a great way to start collecting before, like, you don't have to know anything. You can get that, and there's so much to learn and progress into so many directions out of that watch.
Yeah, that's what I think. And so we try to be, because I also start off cool on some pieces, but I never try to poo-poo it, because you got to be open-minded. The only thing constant is change. And so everything changes. And so when I first I shared with you the Land Dweller, I was like, oh, I don't know, but let me wait a couple days, because Rolex really does the R&D, and they really do the research. And then sure enough, the more I saw the Land Dwellers, I loved them, and I loved the way the bracelet was tapered and it came off. And I saw one of the original quartz and movements it was made after. Mr. Bindi had one on his wrist, and he brought it out of the safe, the original that the Land Dwellers made from. And so I saw that original, wrist, the bracelet, and I couldn't believe how beautiful it looked. So I just tell people, kind of roll with it sometimes. Even if you don't like it, you may not own it, but if somebody really digs it, you find the joy in what they like. And I think that's cool. That's a cool vibe.
So you like the Land Dweller?
I do, and I've been told by one of my 7 Rolex dealers I may be in line to get one soon. So I'm fingers crossed.
There you go.
There is no limits to the amount of tushy I will kiss and the amount of wine I will pour to get me that land dweller. And I mean, I love the platinum and the blue is crazy. And I love the rose gold and the two-tone, etc. But I'm just going to, if they said you have a choice, I'm going to go for stainless because I love the clean stainless. It's thick. It's heavy enough that it wears really great. I tried it on twice now in the last 2 weeks from a display. And I love the open case back and that. And there's only 4 Rolex that have been the open case. The Land Dweller, the Le Mans, the 1908, and the Plantona, the Daytona Platinum blue face. And so 4 have that open case, and I like that in the Rolex history.
Those are beautiful.
Actually, the rose gold looks really nice. I really like that.
Oh yeah, and I'm telling you, with the tariff and the metal prices, I mean, and for those of us, I mean, I love rose gold. My go-to piece is to get the frosted 36 or 41 AP skeletonized open balance, open double balance, rainbow AP. That is a batshit crazy rose gold, and I love my Rolex rainbow, but it's the older model, and I love it to pieces. But I will just tell you, the rose gold newer version is incredible because it also has the sapphires on the face and not the diamond, and that's one thing I love about the Zenith. You know, seeing the sapphire on the and matching the bezel. I just that I love it. Do I love the older dial? Sure, I absolutely do. But I'm just saying I love it. That's just, you know, I like a lot, and I love, and I ultra love. You know, I'm just giving gradients. I mean, there's nothing, you know, but great. But I think in the Land Dweller, if I was so lucky, I think I'm going to go for stainless because also I think a lot of the brands, I've mentioned this last time, Patek and Rolex, are going to keep phasing out some of the stainless and going towards their pedigree has always been precious metals, and that's super pricey and it'll be more limited. So I'm going to stock up on stainless whenever I can. That's just me.
And one last question before we let you go. If you had any advice to give to someone who's just starting out and trying to balance their passion, budget, and the fear of missing out, what would it be?
Yeah, that's a really tough one. And so, first thing, write down your favorite pieces and go by budget, because you can't buy what you can't afford or it causes you hardship. And don't be afraid. Only, you know, I'm going to guess only 10 or 20% of the watches. And here where I'm going with this. If you can only afford one piece and you have to keep trading up, you got to be square and not get a new piece from an AD if you're going to trade it, because they really want you to hold on to it, because it's hard from an authorized dealer to get something new. And if they think you're flipping, but not everybody's made of money and you have a tight budget. So 80% of the pieces you're going to find more inexpensive on the secondary market. So don't be afraid to go to a store like a Happy Jewelers or a Rolex certified pre-owned store, even though those prices are set by the individual watch store and those could be higher. Don't be afraid to go to Chrono 24 and also pay for the certification on a watch. So that way it's certified, because 80% now are more inexpensive on the secondary market. You can get a newer watch or new watch and afford to be in it. And you haven't bought it from an AD and you haven't need to keep it, and then you can either keep it, love it, and you bought it at the most affordable price for your pocketbook with papers and box, original box and papers, full set, not naked, is better. And then you can enjoy it and you can afford it. And then let's say you're like, okay, this is not lost money, or it went up a little bit and I can't afford to get my next watch unless I sell it. So then you're going to sell it and move up on the secondary market. And I respect that. I mean, who starts off as having, you know, a massive money? If you do have it and you have family money, you're blessed. Good for you. You deserve it. But if you don't and you have to play the ladder game, that's one thing I would do, because you have to buy what you love, buy what you can afford. But if you're able to get a new watch from a dealer, you know, and it is new and you want that experience, and if it's not worth as much on the secondary market and you take it, I would advise you to hold it to keep that relationship. But if you get it and for some reason it's worth more, what a joy. Like this cream dial, $6,500. I don't remember what it's going for, but I got to believe it's going for 12, 13, 14,000 right now on the secondary market. And so to me, I wanted it because I love the 3 new colors. They're hard as hell to get. and I'm like, shit, I can't even get one. And then it's nice to know that money you put there is not going to disintegrate. And at least because you're not selling it, but it's nice for us to know, because I can't afford to have, let's say you put $100 in something and then it's worth only $20, and
Yeah.
and you die and your collection is worth nothing. So to me, it's important that they relatively maintain good value. And so it's a balance. You're not going to be perfect on value, and you're not going to be perfect on getting always what you want, but you try to balance the two areas.
Yeah. We just have a super chat. Just one last question. This is just a super chat. Thank you so much, APIZ. £5. Pete, do you own any independents like a Crivia, or do you stick with the mainstream?
I do own some small independents, and I don't have a Crivia, and that there's some incredible independents out. But I bought several Christopher Ward, great piece, great value, great price. I love independents because if I love it and I don't have to put a ton of dollars in it, and I love it and I'm going to wear it, that's my test.
Yeah.
Am I going to wear it on one of the two wrists every 30 or 40 days? Because every 40 days you will have, in theory, then worn 80, 80 times you've displayed 80 watches. And so if I'm not going to wear it, I won't do it. But I absolutely love it. And I do love independence. There's just so much. And now that we've been doing social media, we're getting so many, comments to try stuff. And I don't have enough money, bank storage, or time, but I absolutely encourage you, please support your independence, and please buy what you can afford, but please wear it, because they want to show it. And then again, in 1999, I bet you FP Jordan looked like a very different watch, and nobody thought it would be the Grand Slam King Daddy of all time. So
They were selling FP Jordans at Watch Time New York for 30% off, and giving Elegantes for free as for people who bought their Grand Comps.
yeah,
That's,
I mean, that's crazy, right? I mean,
yeah.
think about that. That's crazy,
Yeah,
right?
it's nobody could have predicted it, but some people, those you have to be really deep into watches. You have to be extremely connected and knowledgeable in the hobby in order to be able to foresee certain
You got
changes.
to have incredible foresight. I
Yeah,
mean, who
And
would ever
yeah,
predict that?
mhm,
you're right. But even with how knowledgeable you and some of your
Yeah,
yeah.
viewers and
You
some
still
of
make mistakes.
the collectors
sure,
are, you make mistakes,
sure.
but sometimes if you're bad, if you're the greatest political candidate in the world and you have the most money and you're perfect on the issues and you have bad timing, you're probably not getting elected.
Yeah,
If you have a crummy golf swing, but you get lucky and the ball runs down the golf path and it falls on the green and goes in the hole, those of us will take luck. So, like, if you looked at something and you're like, I like the way it looked, I've never seen anything like it, it solves a problem, and you bought one of those Jordan. If you look on my Instagram and YouTube, you'll see Martin Katz talked about, he got one of the first tourbillons, vertical tourbillons, and I think it was 30 grand, and now it's worth like 1.2 or 1.4 million. And so he bought what he liked, and he knew it was well made, but you didn't know where it go, but he could afford to take the gamble.
yes. And at the end, that's the best you could do. And if you can have fun while doing it, and there's gonna be wins, there's gonna be losses, but just you gotta get what you like. Like at the end of the day, it has to be something that you enjoy, because at least you can you get so much enjoyment while owning it. Doesn't matter where it goes in the end. So,
Yeah.
and with that, Pete, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate you coming back on Talking Watches so we can get a little deeper look into your incredible collection and philosophy, from your Patek Philippe's heavy hitters and Zenith, and the more humble pieces like that Datejust that you got. What an incredible find there with the Tiffany stamp, keeping it all connected. And also thank you so much for sharing your knowledge on the Ferrari. um, uh, Really, really great having you here on tonight, and hope to have you back again. And obviously, we're gonna catch up in LA.
Oh, we'll
Pete,
definitely do it. Mike, I'm sorry I
thank
cut you off. Thank
you.
you.
Pete, yeah, sorry, Pete. I was just going to say, that's always a great treat whenever you come on. I mean, we just enjoy all the content that you give us. It's just absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Oh, Tim and Mike, you're so gracious. Thank you, and to all the viewers. And please send us more questions. We didn't answer it. And when I see you all, we're going to get into some heavy wines, and maybe next time in 2-3 weeks we'll do some wines, because I think it's overdue.
Yes.
Definitely.
We'll do a wine stream. Maybe you'll join us on a Sunday wine stream. You'll choose a bottle, and we can all enjoy it together and learn from you and Mike what it's all about. Last time you guys had a conversation, I was really enjoying learning about the wine.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Sunday's church day. You got to take
Yeah.
communion, so this is fairly commensurate. It's
Exactly.
not completely out of line. I'm down for it.
And we'll get some high quality bread to go with the wine, and maybe butter
And
that's
cheese.
shaped like
And some
Porsche.
cheese. And some
Yes,
cheese.
Mike. Yes, butter
Yeah.
and cheese. Amen.
Yeah.
Man does not live by bread alone, but wine,
right.
butter, and cheese.
Cheese.
Amen.
Exactly.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Pete.
Thank you.
I'm gonna drop you off so you can go and enjoy. We'll take a look at a few more things over here, and then we're gonna wrap it up. And I'll be in touch with you. Okay.
Thank you.
Take care. And by the way,
Thank you.
guys, if you haven't followed Pete on his Instagram and YouTube channel, the links are in the chat and in the description. So go follow him, and he'll be back. He'll be back shortly. Take care.
See ya.
There we go. That was Pete Mitchell, everybody. What an incredible guest to have
Always.
here for
Always
part
incredible.
2. Yeah, that was incredible. It was so cool for him to take out those Tiffany jewelry. We're gonna figure out the camera situation, by the way. So I spoke with him earlier, and he's like setting up like a area in the house where he's gonna be doing um, kind of live streams from. So
Mhm.
that's coming soon, and we won't have to use the whole background stuff. So we'll be able to
I
show
noticed.
the stuff closer.
I noticed that they actually, whenever he brought the actual watch lower, that it would be
Yeah.
more visible. That you can.
You know,
That it's more. But once he raises it above his shoulder, it disappears.
what happens was it's like the the way the camera thing works is that it's trying to show your face exclusively.
Yeah.
So that's where if you show anything over your face, it's going to kind of like blur it out. So when he
Blur
was
it out.
trying,
Yeah.
but also there's a distance. It measures how if he brings something up closer to like certain range from the towards the camera, it will blur it out
Blur it out. Yeah.
because it goes by range. But soon he'll have his studio set up, and we won't have to use the,
Right.
the camera background, so we'll be able to show everything
Mhm.
beautifully, and we'll
Yeah.
get like a really nice close-up look for everything. But I think even just that is just we're gonna build up a little
No,
bit of
every time he comes on,
expectation.
he's entertaining. I
Yeah,
mean, he showed us some incredible watches. Now he showed us, one of his cars, and we talked about cars this time in
yeah,
more detail. It's just a treat. I think it's a real treat. And then
yeah.
he loves wine too, so we can talk wine in the third segment.
Yes, it would be really nice to have him back on the wine episode,
Yeah,
and we'll do
absolutely.
something really special with him on the wine.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll do like a big thing. Today is like a Wednesday, and there's just
yeah.
it's a crappy day out there,
That'd be great
unfortunately.
to have him on a Sunday.
Yeah,
And if he wants to, we let him pick the wine, what he wants to do, and then we all,
yeah,
we'll pick up that particular wine, and then we can all drink and enjoy and shoot the shit, as they say.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. That's gonna be really fun.
yeah, it'll be fun.
So yeah, really looking forward to that. Uh, Good job, everybody in the chat who sent their questions and comments. Thank you. Do not redeem. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys, for the super chats. JD, hey, hope you're doing well, JD. Shout out to Dingo Dave, Tom Doe. I had my foresight removed when I was a baby. That's very unfortunate. DL Farms, thank you so much for the upvote, guys. By the way, make sure to smash that upvote button Would really appreciate it for me and for Pete. Make sure to go subscribe to him. Shout out to Time Flies, Tim G, Double D. Double D, by the way, this is an interesting fact. It says that Zippo lighter opening sound and the Porsche are the two only patented sounds. I didn't even know that. It's pretty cool. Shout out to E. Stewart Hall, OG Dangus, Scott. Let's see who else we had. We had Humble Pine in the chat. E EG Boys GTR. Um, guys, thank you so much. I tried to bring up as many comments as I could um, when I could. Shout out to Manny, George, Jason Pena. I think I see there's Speedy Hernandez, Mr. G, all the guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've got another piece of news here that we could talk about. Mike, whilst I have you here, the new book just dropped. This is get this, man. It's a second authorized Rolex book. The first one was about the Submariner by Nicholas Folks in collaboration with Wallpaper and Rolex. Yeah. Hold on, let me get my Submariner book over here.
So it looks like he's coming out in a series of different models. It looks like now. So probably you might have the date following this one.
After the Datejust?
Yeah, maybe he'll do the date next, or the Daytona. Who knows?
So
That was
here,
a sub of the first one.
yeah, this is the first book, the Submariner. It's got all kinds of cool pictures. It's mostly picture book, but it has some very cool archival pictures, archival ads that Rolex was running throughout history. All kinds of stuff in here. The people they collab with.
It's very nicely
In
put
the
together.
Yeah, Rolex featured
Great.
in the movies. Oh, look at that. Who's this gentleman? Who's that cool guy? Sean Connery.
Go,
Sir
Sean Connery. Yeah, the one.
Yeah. It's very cool. Sean Connery. And then look at this one. Ooh. That's a nice picture. And what's on the wrist? A Rolex. Of course. A lady with a Rolex. How cool is that? I think what was this? I think they call this watch has got the special name from Doctor No. I forget what it's called. I think it's like the fat one or something. The fat lady or the big lady. Anyways, so that was the Submariner book. Interesting stuff. Very easy read. It's a great coffee table book, right? And here, this is the Datejust, the second one. Now, get this. This is released on the 80th anniversary of the Datejust, which originally launched in 1945. So there is a reason why they chose to do Datejust.
2020, yeah, 2025.
Yep, 45 to 2025. 80 years of
80 years.
Datejust.
Yep.
Yeah, incredible. Folks described Datejust as the ultimate chameleon because it's been so versatile through decades. And like they just kind of currently it's been overshadowed by a lot of other steel sports models that are really hyped up, but I think ultimately they just it's an icon. It's not going away. It's here to stay forever.
And it looks best when it's on the Jubilee bracelet. It looks really
Mhm.
elegant. It looks
That
classy.
configuration right there,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
iconic.
yeah. It is.
Champagne dial, fluted bezel, Jubilee. Boom, they figure it out. That's a perfect watch. Yes, it's a little bit out of fashion right now, but that's just only to us because we're so brainwashed by steel sports, steel sports, steel sports. It's in the game. That we just don't understand even like what's hot to just general people out there. I think you show this to non-watch people, they'll go with the date just any day of the week versus like a Submariner.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's so classy. It's such a beautiful dress watch.
Yeah.
Uh, and as I said, the Jubilee bracelet really elevates it even more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so cool. It's a sexy watch, and this book is going to include those rare archival images, original photography, and I think there's going to be some new insights into the iconic features like the Jubilee bracelet and the fluted bezel, because like we know these things, but we don't know the inside story of like how this stuff was designed, right? So it'll be cool to read. For example, um, interesting thing that the Submariner book has is this. Check this out. Let me show you. So in the Submariner book, at the end, they actually showed the production numbers. They revealed how many of each piece has been produced
Wow.
ever.
Hmm.
Yeah. So for example, off the Submariner, right? So over here, if I go to let's say, but we're going to go all the way to the end, but like reference
Tim,
5513.
so Tim, when did they originally come out with the Submariner? What year was the original one?
The first one, 1953.
Okay.
The 1953 reference 6204. They released 2,881 of those, and then a year later, 6200, they released only 303 because they were like
What?
experimenting. Yeah, yeah. It was
Wow.
like a modified version. It was with the 369. That's why they're so rare.
Mhm.
Submariner with the 369.
Wow.
Have you seen that one?
Never seen it.
Yeah, they go for millions. Here, I'll pull it up. Reference 6200. Here, let's go over here. That's why it's cool to have a book like that.
Yeah, yeah. That's good they
Rolex.
give you that information too. They go
Yeah,
by each model how much was produced.
yeah, exactly. And it tells you like what like you can actually know how many were released. Whoa, it's cool. It's a cool information because for collectors, it's super valuable. Like, look at this. Like,
I've
then you
seen.
know how rare, right? It's almost like knowing the production numbers. It tells you um, the rarity of it. You can quantify. You can use it for quantifying rarity. So yeah, check this one out. How cool is that?
So it had the Mercedes hands already.
Mm-hmm. This is a second reference ever released. It's almost like they took the Explorer dial,
Yeah,
right? It doesn't say
exactly.
Submariner on it. No, notice, right? See, no
Mhm.
Submariner.
Very clean.
Yeah, very clean. It's got that cool polished line. This is not related. Let's see. There's a Bob's Watches. Bob's Watches has some 6 quick facts. Oh, there's a little video
Hey
here.
everyone, I'm Brandon Frazen, Director of Vintage here at Bob's Watches, and I'm joined by our CEO and founder and friend, Paul Altieri, and we're going to showcase one of his amazing vintage watches from his personal collection for our Vintage of the Week.
Oh, damn. Yeah, you wanna squip?
300 of these in the tight
Mm-hmm.
serial number range, but who knows how many are actually left. So many have been destroyed, all serviced out, just lost over the years.
Mm.
Because these were real tool watches, so I
Yeah.
imagine there's some probably at the bottom of the ocean too. But looking at this dial, just what stands out is that, like you mentioned before, Paul, the lack of text.
Yeah.
The 369 is just
It's
this
just
was
a
the
tool
first.
watch. See, they weren't really like they weren't putting, officially certified all this stuff that they now put on because like it's a commercially available watch. This wasn't like commercially available. It was kind of like a tool that they were building probably for some project.
Submariner to offer the 369 Explorer style dial. Rolex would later use it in the 5513, 5512, the other Big Crown 6538. This is also the first Submariner to use the 8mm Big Crown, which helped
Sure.
give the watch twice as much water resistance than the previous models. So this had about 200 meters water resistance, where the earlier ones were
Oh.
just 100. And that's why this is kind of considered, at the time, it was a more serious tool watch.
It's almost like a seed
And
well.
then like you also said, the no hash bezel is just
Oh, so like, see this in the first year they released 100 meters, whatever it is, and then this one came out. That's a 200 meters.
So
So
they
and
upped it.
it doesn't even say Submariner. They qualify it as a Submariner, but yeah.
pretty distinct on this model. And
Sick.
when looking closely, you can see this dial is kind of aging to a brownish color, which is just really stunning. And another interesting thing about these older subs is the Mercedes hand is actually longer than the later model. So it's kind of, it has a cool look. So we went over some of the details of the watch and a little bit of the history. So Paul, I got to know, how did you acquire this?
You know, we get hundreds of calls every month from people all around the world, mostly the U.S. This was unlike any of those calls, but what made this different is it came to fruition. And I say that because I probably had 100 calls over the years of people saying they have a 6200, and 99% of the time it's not a 6200.
Right.
But this one particular time, a guy had called in from San Diego, and he told one of the sales reps that he had a 6200 and he wanted to talk to Paul. And so I think her name was Samantha at the time. And so Samantha comes walking in my office and said, hey, Paul, I got a guy on the phone. He's from San Diego. He's thinking about selling his grandfather's watch.
Wow.
And he's got an old 6200, he said, I think. And I said, really? Okay, I'll take the call. And I took the call. And, you know, the first thing I want to know is, does he really have a 6200? And so I talked to him, and after a couple of minutes, I started, you know, thinking, wait, he might really have one. Wow. So he came up, we made an appointment for a couple of weeks, and he drove up and put the watch in front of me, you know, in my lobby, and I still remember it to this day, and I couldn't believe to have it in my hands. And the story is that it was his grandfather's watch, given to him. His grandfather was a CB in the World War II.
Wow.
And his grandfather and the colonel did not get along, apparently, for some reason. And so when the war was over and the war ended in 1945, 1946, the colonel said to his secretary, hey, do me a favor, go to the Rolex store and buy a Rolex Submariner as a gift. I want to present it to my friend here, the CB. And so she did that, and she came back and she picked out this particular watch. And they presented it to this grandfather of this guy from San Diego that brought it up. And he accepted the gift, kept it for about a week, maybe 2 weeks, and decided he didn't want to accept it. And he said, I don't care what he said. I know he wants to, quote, bury the hatchet.
Wow.
But why don't you give it? And so he gave it to his son and said, why don't you keep it? And his son said, oh, I'm not going to keep it. I think it's wrong. If you're not going to keep it and wear it, you should give it back to the colonel. Well, the story goes is he said, well, let's agree. Let's give it to your son, who happened to be 9 years old at the time. And they put it in a safe deposit box.
Holy shit.
And that's where it's been all these years, for like 50 years until I bought it. So the story.
Wow.
Crazy story.
That's how this is the only way these things can survive like this.
So it was sitting stored for how long?
For like
50 years, you say?
50 years, yeah.
Oh
That's
my
it.
goodness.
Oh
Wow.
my God.
Wow.
50 years until I bought
50
it.
years.
So the story goes that I think his name was John. John drove up first time,
Shout
showed
out
it
to
to
John.
me. We spent about 2 or 3 hours together, but he wasn't quite ready to sell it at the time. So he said, let me think about it. Let me go back. And if I decide to sell it, I'll call you. So 2 or 3 months later, I get a call from John. I had given him my cell phone number. He calls me and says, you know what? I decided to sell it. I'm going to come up. How about if I come up next week and Tuesday or Wednesday? I forget what day it was. And he drove up. And I said, John, just for curiosity, what are you going to do with the money? And he said, I'm going to fund all 3 of my college kids' tuitions.
Boom. There you go. That's how it's done. Listen, that's
Does he
more
say how much
important.
did he say how much he bought it for?
Oh, let's see.
Or is it? Yeah,
I mean, three college kid tuitions, right?
Yeah.
Which I think was a good plan. And he really did feel sort of bad in a way that he was selling the watch, but it went for a good cause. And that's how I came to own the watch. And it's been in my collection ever since.
Wow.
How many
I don't know. I don't think he's gonna say. Let me check how much these things go for. Okay, just so
Wow.
that let's see here. Command.
Back then, it was probably about a couple $100 at best.
No, 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 no. Yeah. Well, I think like way back in the
Yeah,
day.
I'm talking back, like
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
when,
yeah. It was maybe, but then even if you adjust for inflation, it
yeah,
was still like a $1,000 watch.
probably, yeah,
Yeah,
probably. If
I
factor it in,
think it was probably. I think it was like. Let's see.
probably
I
even
actually I can find out. Let's find out. Uh, price. Uh, let's see here. Rolex retail price back in the
will
day.
they give you that information?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you know how much something like this sold for recently?
I have no idea. 500,000?
Yeah.
Is it?
485,000
Oh no
Swiss franc.
shit. That's a
Yeah.
wild guess. Yeah. Wow.
Holy shit. That was in 2013.
So it's worth more now.
Yeah. It's
Probably worth close
probably
to six. Probably 600 now. Probably.
yeah. Let me see here. Back in the day, let's see. 1954. 1950. Let's see.
Probably
Okay,
wasn't even 200. Probably I'm guessing probably 100, $125.
$185.
Okay, so yeah, between 100 and
Now
200.
let's adjust it for inflation. Uh, adjust for
And you
inflation.
could have, and Tim, you could have probably got it on a deal. You go in there, they want 185. You tell them, I'll give you
Yeah,
135. They say, oh, okay.
exactly,
Back then.
exactly. You can just you can get it for way less. Yeah, exactly. It's like these things weren't like the
Yeah.
that's a final price. So here we go. I put $180 back in 1954. You want to
So
take a guess what that's going to be adjusted?
adjusted.
Yeah,
So 70 years later,
yeah.
I would say about 2,500 it would be worth, basically. And if you had moved up if when you factor in inflation,
hmm Here we go.
2,500.
Oh,
Yeah,
2,161.
not too far off.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
good. This is so 2,000. That's like giving somebody a $2,000 gift. It's
yeah,
pretty good, I
yeah.
would say. It is really good. And I guess he maybe sold it for 200,000 at that time to Bob, right? Maybe
How
200,
long?
300. You're saying
How long? How
funding
long?
3 college tuitions,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah, that definitely more than cover it.
Yeah. And now if he kept it, he could have funded not just like that.
Could have
Now if they
bought
went to whatever, he could have bought houses for each
a
one.
house,
Yeah.
cash.
What a
Bought a house in cash. Don't even
yeah.
worry about interest rates or anything. Just
Yeah,
pay cash.
especially with these tuitions. Let's hope that these kids didn't graduate in gender studies, okay, or some
Or then party all
BS.
the time and didn't even pass to get their bachelor's or associate's degree or whatever they wanted to
Yeah,
follow.
some BS degree in fuck. There's so many stupid degrees nowadays that it's a
Oh, big time,
disaster. Oh
big time.
man, it's a total ripoff. I'm glad that I studied psychology and education, and I'm kind of using it in the live stream. That education, it's totally like being a teacher. That's just a disaster. You're asking for trouble
So what'd you get? An
at this point.
associate's degree?
I have well, I have
Or
the
did you get a
bachelor's,
bachelor's? Oh, okay.
bachelor's, yeah, and I was
So you
doing
went what?
masters.
So you went about 4 years.
Yeah, I did master, and basically I did masters, and at the end I dropped out because they asked me to pay $6,000 for the last bit. Right, the last bit they said you have to work for 6 months as a teacher,
For free.
unpaid. Yeah. Whoa. Wait. What?
So,
You have to.
so you would have to get another job to pay your bills while you're working for free. And
Yeah,
how many hours did you have to devote to the school?
9 to 5.
Every day, 5 days a week.
5 days a week. It's a completely overwhelming, all-consuming job. You that's the only thing you could do. It's 9 to 5. You're working, and
Right.
as you're working, you have to write this big final paper that it's like 50
And
to
you have
100 pages.
and you have to grade also the exams or homework. That on top of
You
it.
have to do lesson plans.
Mm-mm.
So for every class that you teach, you have to prepare a lesson plan, which is 1 to 2 pages lesson plan. So if they were going to put me in 6 classes a day, I have to teach 6 classes a day. That means 6 lesson plans
That's
for
messed up.
every single day, plus a handout sheet that you have to give. Because the way they want to teach right now, when kids come in, they have to have a handout that they grab and start getting into work, and then
Hmm.
you have to grade homework from every single day. Then you have to collect homework, which you have to grade. So
Right.
every day you're preparing 6 lesson plans, 6 pages of handouts, and then homework. You have to prepare homework and grade homework every
That's
day.
that's crazy.
So
That's not
when
true.
and not you're not getting paid for this.
Right.
You
Right.
have to pay them 6,000. I said, "Fuck you. I'm not doing this. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. Fuck it. I'll work as a barista. This is
Did-
because if that's what the job, what means to be a teacher, I don't want it. I
and
just
what?
like it. Like you know
No,
what?
that's
But the thing is, like I got the most valuable, like the lessons that they taught me how to think, the critical thinking. I learned it. I got the knowledge, but I'm not doing this because I don't want to be a teacher. Like if
and
that's
what
what it
grade?
means to be a teacher,
You know what grade kids you had to teach to?
yeah, high school.
Oh shit.
High school, ninth grade.
Oh shit. That's
Yeah, it was an
fucking pain
English
in the
class.
ass. So they're about 14 years old.
Yeah.
Around 14 years old, which is a real pain in the ass,
Oh
dude.
yeah.
So they're gonna
There's
give you a
zero
hard
respect. You
time.
get no.
Yeah, that's fucking cruelty to
They
you.
would
That
have
would be.
ripped me into shreds. Would have ripped me a
You'd
second
have
and
gone into
third asshole.
depression. You'd have definitely gone into depression.
Yeah, dude.
No, there's no way. I mean, anybody does that got to be nuts out of their mind.
That's why I was like, but I paid very little. My college was very cheap, and I paid through it because I was working at the pool. I was working as a lifeguard and as a coach, so I was paying for the education. So I have no debt. That's the most beautiful thing. I have no debt. There's people who come out like it's
Yeah,
one thing if I studied. Imagine if I studied and then took on loans, like $50,000 in loans, and then at the end they hit you up for another 6,000, and then how do you do it? I'm glad I have a wife who has a career, has a job, so like she would have be able to support me, but I just didn't even want to get into that. That's like a weird way to live. It's like it's icky, and then like I wouldn't want to do it. I was like I knew. Oh man, these kids, they would fucking, whatever. They would make something up. It's not worth it. They're all addicted to social media. And because I had a chance to be a co-teacher, and these teachers, they were miserable. That was just hell on
no,
earth.
it's got to be hard. I mean, it's hard
Yeah,
to be a teacher. I mean, you and me, when we went to school, I used to remember. I mean, especially when you saw the teacher being kind of weak,
yeah,
and the kids would target that teacher. I mean, they would basically mess with them. It was
yeah.
part. I mean, unless the teacher was a hard ass, that would scare the hell out of us. That would like see back in my days when I went to school, I went to a Catholic school, and the
Hmm.
teachers were allowed to punish you. I mean, they would pull out a cane or
Yeah.
the leather strap, And if you got a teacher, and we had a couple of teachers that were hard ass, and we
Yeah.
would when he walked in the classroom, we wouldn't even say a word. We wouldn't even squeak. I mean, because we knew that guy would hit us, and he would not play around.
Yeah,
But
in Ukraine, same thing. When I was growing up in Ukraine, I was going to school to basically we only had like elementary and middle school. I went to up to 7th grade, and well, I had actually the same teachers for 7 years. And same thing, man. The teachers there, they could just grab a ruler, fucking whack you,
yeah.
and the parents would encourage and say, "Hey, listen, if this
Oh
guy
no,
doesn't,
no,
yeah, they wouldn't fuck around. It
no, no.
was there was consequences, and
Yeah.
and now it's just all there's no consequence for anything. So why listen? And
It's hard to be a teacher today. I mean, you get intimidated by the kids. Because the kids have a
possible,
license to do whatever they want.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
impossible
it's
because
impossible I mean, especially if you're like in the ghettos. My goodness, I mean, it's got to be hard, really hard.
and that's where I am. I'm in the ghetto basically, not
Yeah,
like
yeah,
projects. It's
right.
projects over here. I went to Abraham Lincoln High School, which is kind of a school between all these projects. It was very rough, but I had a great time. I had some good people who looked after me, helped me out. I was like, um, I helped a lot of people, so they looked after me. Like I had certain talents, and I'm like in Ukraine. I came out Ukraine like 2 or 3 years ahead of everybody else over here. So when
Mm.
I was taking math, it was like, "This is the shit we're already
You
done
already
in
knew that
Ukraine."
stuff. Yeah, you already knew.
Yeah. So math for me was easy. Everybody was copying my homework in math. I'm not even that great in math, but everybody was copying my homework. As somebody was struggling in math, they were coming to me. And then when I had English problems, I was going to them. So I was very lucky with that.
No,
Um,
the schools here, especially when they're in their younger age, it's like a picnic. I mean,
mhm.
they don't even half of them don't even go there to learn anything. They just go there to socialize with their friends. That's all they do.
Yeah, and with modern like Chat GPT, dude, these kids they're not gonna learn how to write. I remember how much I had to struggle to write. I had to write a lot of papers in my day. I'm really glad that I had to do them because it forced me to think. And nowadays, and they had all kinds of software to try and make sure that we don't cheat. Obviously, people were using stuff like Wikipedia, right? But even Wikipedia, you had to think because you had to be connecting stuff from Wikipedia. It's like you were stealing like ideas, and they had this software to check. Oh, did he use quotes from? So there was software that professors used and teachers used to make sure to catch cheating. But like the modern level, like what ChatGPT could do, and how it could basically make it so that it's impossible to catch someone if they're cheating. Uh, it's basically makes stuff like English classes completely pointless
Hmm.
because somebody could just go into ChatGPT, and the point is that they're going to be because they don't have to use their brain to write their own paper or think about a piece of writing and then analyze it and then produce an original like reinterpretation of what you think this means or it's gonna this generation is fucked because how do you know something is true or not in
Well,
that's written.
that's a scary thing. I mean, yeah, that's a scary. I mean, you've seen what they can do right now. So
Yeah,
imagine another 5 to 10 years where the AI is going. I mean, it just and it doesn't seem to be the government are doing enough to kind of keep this controlled as much as possible
they're
because
doing nothing. They're
they're not
encouraging
doing
this.
it because
Yeah, because it's
well, you
good for the
saw that.
government. It's good for the politicians because
Yeah,
politicians
yeah, yeah,
like their populations to be stupid. Both sides. This is both
yeah, yeah.
sides. This is not a Democrat Republican. The Democrats want their voters to be dumb. Republicans want
Oh
their
yeah.
voters. to be dumb. You know, they don't care.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really bad, especially if people forget how to think. Oh man! And then if this stuff goes, if they turn it off, because that's the thing. Like right now, they're developing this stuff. Okay, and if people start getting reliant on these tools, then they can start tweaking them and thereby start tweak. So, for example, if somebody doesn't know how to think at all, and they're using ChatGPT to all the thinking for them, then those that control ChatGPT, which would be NSA, right? You got Homeland Security. They can tweak the algorithm in order to spit out certain results, and then they can control how everybody thinks. This is next level. This next level manipulation.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Brutal
It's
stuff.
scary. No, it's scary.
Oh yeah. Oh
Where's
yeah.
where's
I'm
gonna go?
freaked out. I'm getting shivers thinking about this stuff. But yeah. Anyways, let's finish up the chat here about this Date Just book, because I think this is pretty cool. I think people are gonna go back to books, and that's why I'm building a book collection,
Mhm.
because who knows how. And I'm trying to keep my my live streams as authentic as possible. Um, you know, yeah, let's see it. The Datejust book. The pre-orders, by the way, are going to start yesterday. Actually, they started, and the book is going to be released on September 29th, for £100, or
Wow.
about $135 US.
How much is your Submariner book? Is it
I
about
don't
the
think
same?
it's worth pre-ordering it, because I got my Submariner book like 40% off a
Oh,
week later.
that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, let's see here. If we go to Amazon, Submariner book. These are not like super limited. Oh my God, Mike,
What?
Mike,
What's going on?
bro, bro,
What?
bro. Look at this. It's 70% off. It's
Wow.
$37 now.
No shit. That is
Holy
cheap.
fuck. Yeah,
That's
that's cheap.
That's cheap for a hardback. Wow.
Yeah, it's a great quality book. Here, I'll put the
Yeah.
link in the chat, guys. Go
Wow.
get yourself one. I highly recommend this book. Yeah, it's a lot of kind of fluff,
Yeah, but
but
$37 is nothing. You think
30
about
cents,
it.
yeah,
For a really good quality book with photographs and
yeah,
tells you about the history of the Submariner. It's a great book, really, for the price, especially
yeah.
that.
$37 is nothing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's something, but it's not 125,
No, no.
right?
So I would
It's so
wait, definitely wait for a discount on the date just when they come out.
yeah, don't jump on the day just
No,
book
no.
on the day one. It's not worth pre-ordering and paying full price. But look how thick
Yeah,
that is. You see it?
no, no.
It's
It's definitely
really
worth.
thick. Tons of pages, tons of pictures. If you're a Datejust fan, it's cool. Sometimes you're just sitting at home, drinking coffee. You can just pick this up from the coffee table and just look at
So
some stuff here.
they came out with this last year, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, so about a year later, you get it for $37 instead of $100.
70% off.
That's big.
What the hell? That is cheap. It's not like it's a limited run of 100 books.
Yeah.
It's mass. They're pumping these out, flooding the market. But which is good. But I
That's,
think later down the road, when these are discontinued, they're going to be really valuable.
hmm
Or maybe not, because there's so many of them. But
Yeah,
sometimes,
yeah.
when there's so much is produced, people don't treat them nice. They just throw them against the wall, or they throw them away. A lot of people throw their stuff away. But like in 50 years, I think this book is going to be valuable. Not that, I think the value, what I think the biggest value in here, Mike, is
What's that?
the book basically gives you a business plan for a successful product. Okay? It tells you how to, number one, create a product. Then once you created a product, how to market it, and how you can make that product successful for 50, 70, 80 years. Because
Yeah.
all the marketing material that Rolex has ever done is in here. So if somebody is looking to start a business,
Well,
they can learn.
it gives you the history, so it kind of gives you what the direction that Rolex went throughout the years and perfecting the actual model
Yeah,
of the Mariner.
exactly. So for example, if you want to start a business and you want to create some kind of a product, it doesn't have to be a watch. It could be, let's say, a knife company. You want to start a knife company. You got your seed money. Let's say you're starting with $100,000, right? And what do? You you basically partner with people who would use your product. You give your product for free to them and tell them to review, or you take pictures. So, for example, here, like they've got all these guys. They outfitted these military guys
Hmm.
with Rolex watches, and they took a picture, right? So that's your marketing material. It becomes your marketing material later down the road. Okay, you could 50 years later, when you're, if your company is still around, that's what you want to do. You want to create products that will last a really long time, and you want to put these products in the hands of people that will be seen in the hands of people that will use your product, and other people will see them using your product, and will go, "Well, what is that? I want something like that as well." It could be anything. It could be wallet. Whatever business you want to create.
Well, Rolex is considered probably one of the greatest companies for marketing. I mean, and they are just an actual template of
Yeah,
how to do it right,
yeah.
and how successful you can be. Yeah,
This is the playbook
yeah.
on a successful business.
It's a template. Yeah.
Yeah, on how to. And it shows you examples how to market your product. It's incredible. It's an incredible book for anybody who wants to start like a so who wants to create a business selling certain widgets. It's all about the widget. Okay, and now, like, here they've got Federer with the Dages, like that's the beauty of Rolex, is that they have this picture now of Federer with the Rolex, he just won. What is this? U.S. Open? What is this? Grand Slam. He just won a
One of
Grand
the Grand Slams.
Slam, right?
Yeah.
And he's wearing a Rolex. And now
Mhm.
this picture with him wearing a Rolex, Rolex can show this for the next 1,000 years. Okay, how as long as the society
I think that's
exists.
Wimbledon. I think that's Wimbledon.
I think it's Wimbledon.
Yeah, I
It's
think
his
that's it.
15th Grand Slam title.
Yeah, well, he had one. Well, that was then. I think he's got altogether about
Oh,
20 or 21 Grand
oh,
Slams
okay.
in his career. And
Oh, okay.
Djokovic has the record now. I think he has 24. That means, he's won
Wow.
either the U.S. Open, Wimbledon,
Yeah.
the French Open, and the Melbourne Open,
Oh, okay. Maybe it is
Australia,
Wimbledon. And
Australian Open.
actually, Russell says that it does look like Wimbledon. Oh, okay.
It,
I
it
was
is.
just
It
going
probably,
by what it says in the quote over
yeah,
here. But this
yeah.
is Federer was saying, they just has a particular value for me because I wore it in the trophy shot when I won my 15th Grand Slam title.
Nice. Yeah.
So now, see, there's only one person that could have won 15th, or these Grand Slams, right? Every year there's one US Open, right? Now, look
Well,
what's going to happen.
the,
Carlos won the US Open 2025.
right.
And what watch did he wear? Tiffany Dial Daytona
Of
yellow
course.
gold.
Of
Okay?
course.
That watch will become forever synonymous with that moment. When
Right.
people are going through history, looking at these, at all these, who won these U.S. Opens throughout time, and they look at the picture, there's going to be Carlos wearing the Daytona forever.
Well, the Rolex owns the Grand Slam. I mean, basically,
Yeah.
with all the advertising they do with the U.S. Open,
Yeah.
Wimbledon, the Australian Open, and
They
the French Open.
or if they didn't, now they have so much money they could start their own. See, that's the crazy thing, right? They could start their
Own
own.
tournament.
Yeah, the Rolex tennis tournament, and they could probably make so much money doing it because that name, right? They become so synonymous with these tournaments. They can
Yeah.
start their own. Okay, like
Well, they
that's
sponsor them. It's become basically. I mean, all these tournament is become. You could say the I know it's Rolex sponsored, but
yeah,
Rolex is such a major presence in these finals.
yeah, yeah.
It's just like
That's
in golf also. I mean, their presence is there
mm,
too.
yeah. So
You,
anybody
you,
who's looking to become part of certain culture, they have to find sports or you know things where people are seen using certain tools and get their tools in their hands
Mhm.
at the end of the day. That's what it's about. Um yeah. Mind
Anyway,
blowing
my
stuff.
battery is running down,
Oh,
so I'm going to
okay.
jump off or
Yeah.
plug it in.
Mike, well, yeah, you've been on the stream for a while now. Listen, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate your coming in, helping me out, keeping the conversation going with Pete.
It's always
And
fun with Pete. Pete is always entertaining.
yeah, he's a good dude. It's
He's a
very, very, very generous of him
very
to come on
humble
the
guy.
stream and share his collection publicly. A lot of people they're like shy or they're worried about this. It's great to see, you know, that he's open to
Yeah,
sharing.
yeah. I mean, we couldn't ask for a better person to come on the stream. He's really a great guy.
Yeah, really, really cool dude.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'll talk
Right,
to you
Timmy.
later.
Yeah.
Take a break. I'm gonna finish up with this article. Maybe somebody will join. Maybe I'll just finish off another 20 minutes here by myself. I'm
All
gonna
right.
wrap it up and call it a
You have
night.
a good night, Tim,
Thank you.
and
Really
good night to
appreciate.
everybody on the stream.
Take care. All right, guys. Let's finish this up. Datejust. We're talking Datejust, right? It was the first waterproof, self-winding chronometer with an automatic date. Okay, it was a foundational milestone for Rolex and watchmaking. It's a big piece. Yeah, it's lost some of its cachet nowadays, but because it's not hyped, but it is a very significant watch. Hans Wilsdorf himself framed it as encapsulating every discovery made to date uh, at at its launch. So like when that came out, it was really big deal. It was everything because it's waterproof. It's got a date. It's extremely accurate, and for daily wear, that's all you need if you think about it, right? To tell the time, because like those big events, like a month and the year, like in the perpetual on the annual calendar, those are those are good additions, but they're totally not necessary. Whereas a date, if you know the date, then if you've got any sense whatsoever, you'll be able to know the month. Like I know I don't need to look at my watch to know that right now is September, that it's 2025. But the date, I might not remember. Like I might know, oh yeah, it's the 10th, right? So So yeah, it's a cool piece. If you guys own a Datejust, let me know what kind of a Datejust you own. Put it in the chat because um, r- Datejust remains Rolex's best-selling model, and it's seen on the wrists of leaders and cultural icons thanks to its timeless versatility. Look at this. Who is this? I can't tell. It does say over here in the corner, but I'm not sure. I can't. The resolution is not high enough. Who is this lady? But she's wearing. You see there, she's wearing a Datejust, a lady's Datejust, full gold. So pretty impressive. Probably some kind of celebrity in 1972. By the way, incredible. If anybody recognizes who this lady is, let me know in the chat. Um, Folks, authorized history is going to really help preserve the lore around, all these features like Jubilee bracelet, Cyclops, right? And this is needed. If you were to ask me, oh, which watch needs most help right now, it would be the Datejust, because the Pepsi, the Daytona, those are cool, but they're so hyped, they don't really need any help. I think this watch coming out, there's so many people who don't know anything about watches, and they might buy this book, and because of the book, they might buy a Datejust, and the Datejust thereby might become hyped once again. So it's pretty cool how these cycles work. I want the Datejust. Ah, it's hard. It's hard. Get a job, Timmy. Let me know also, guys, in the chat. Are you planning to buy this book, and what makes the Datejust meaningful to you personally? Hey, roommate, welcome back.
Don't get a job.
Don't get a job? Why not?
The job is stuff.
The jobs suck.
Job is stuff.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Jobs are
I'm gonna
hard.
fucking revenge my coworkers. I'm gonna fucking revenge.
Yes.
Ah,
Just
so
calm
mad.
down, man.
I was so mad.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. But you have to appreciate that you have a job, roommate, because at least you have steady income. You see, there's no
Okay, so
perfection.
you don't need to work, okay? Just one person get the fucking stress from the work. That's okay. So we don't need the two fucking people get stressed from the work.
Should,
Yeah.
you think? Because I was thinking, roommate. I was
So-
thinking, and I think I'm
By
gonna
the way-
start taking Saturdays off, and I'm gonna work on videos on Saturday. So I'm gonna stop streaming, or maybe I'm gonna stop streaming twice per week. Maybe Friday and Saturday off. That way, Friday I can spend with you.
No, it's okay. Once I revenge them, I'm gonna relieve my fucking anger. Otherwise, it's this anger.
Don't revenge, roommate. The
No.
best revenge. You know what's the best revenge is?
No.
Living good.
No,
Just living happy. Just be happy.
No.
Live well, and that's the best revenge.
Out of control. Oh shit, I was so out of control. Oh.
You need to get back into control. Get back in control.
Once I revenge them, then I'm gonna be control.
Unbelievable.
I need to revenge.
Let's hope they're not watching the live stream.
They're not gonna watch me.
Roommate's so funny. But yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna start taking Saturdays. I think I was talking to some guys on which would be the best day to take off, and I think Saturday would be it. And I can spend Saturday making a video. Start out with one video per week, maybe, and then bump it up to two, because it's hard. I unfortunately, unfortunately, it's really difficult, guys. It's really difficult. What can I do? It's really, really difficult. What can I do? East Stewart Hall, thank you so much for
You know that you guys
for the
fucking
super
so
chat.
slow. Okay, during these fucking American people, they fucking slow, fucking so slow.
Yeah, just calm down. Well, what's the rush? What's the rush? Well, these Korean people, they're so fast. They're so eager to work. Just just be cool.
So
Roommate.
fucking slow. It's like a 1 plus 1 calculation. It takes like forever. It's like
Yeah, because they're
like this.
stretching it out. What's the rush?
That's
They're
fucking
not getting
America.
paid extra. See, American people figured out they're not getting paid.
That's
It's
why
not like you
you
get
guys
paid
cannot
more
figure.
if you do more
A
patience.
long time ago, you guys luckily have like material to become rich, but not anymore because Asian they 10 times faster. Screw
But you're
fucking
not getting
America.
paid more just because you finish quicker and you do more tasks.
So fucking slow, so fucking slow. You America. And
What?
report and we fucking reporting me. Fuck, screw. I'm revenging fucking these people. I'm gonna revenge it. Soon I'm gonna fucking revenge it. I'm gonna fucking revenge it. I'm
Okay,
gonna
okay.
reporting them every single mistake. You know what? No
Don't.
fucking friend
Why you
anymore.
wasting?
Fuck! I'm gonna every single mistake. I'm gonna fucking report.
It's
I don't fuck
hard.
care. This is not any the big serious. I don't fuck care. I'm gonna report
Mm.
every single mistake.
As you should have.
If they have.
Yeah. Well, actually, report mistake or not even mistake. Just report every day. Just report something. Just even if it looks kind of suspicious, just report it. Why not? Just report anything, everything. Report everything.
Even they delivery truck to the nurse not there.
Report it.
I pick up for their convenience.
Yeah. Report
For
them.
now, if not my drug, no.
Duh, why would you do a convenience for other
fucking
people?
Searching for the nurse. I don't fuck care. You guys business. None of your fucking business.
Yeah.
You guys fucking delivering medication so slow to pick up the medication. They reporting me irritating their job. Fuck. I'm gonna fucking you guys kill every individual. I'm gonna planning to revenge every single mistake. I'm gonna fucking kill them. Fuck. I was so mad at work. I was so mad at my work. Like the pharmacy, they reporting my manager about the I irritating them to like like pushing them.
Yeah.
Because you guys fucking slow, so fucking slow. It's a simple job.
They're not getting paid. They're not getting paid extra
1.5
too.
kilogram.
They're not getting paid
1.5
extra.
milligram per
They're
kilogram.
not. They're not getting paid extra for getting it done.
Complaining because this calculation makes you guys kind of brain work.
It's hard. Using brain is difficult nowadays.
just
Everybody just
multiply
uses
the
Chat
PhD.
GPT.
Fucking stupid, dumb as fuck.
Okay, just calm down, man. Calm down. And roommate is out of control. She's triggered. She's triggered. But hey, just chill out, man. Chill out. Go take a breath. It's all cool. It's all cool. Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyways, man, roommate is having good time. I think at work. I thought I was having it bad. Hey, shout out to Cloud Can. Yeah, if the kids are hey, hey. Oh my god. Yes, when the roommate is on the stream, the show becomes PG-18. Make sure to close your kids' ears, guys. Unbelievable. Okay. Anyways, and oh, you know what? Tomorrow we'll do the Phillips. Okay, I think I figured it out. So that's the book. I don't know if there's anything else. Oh, I did want to ask if you guys think Datejust is the more iconic Rolex than others, like Submariner or the Day Date. Is it the most iconic? Let me actually make a poll. Okay, whilst we still have a few more people watching, do you think that Datejust is the most iconic Rolex of them all? Because I think it might be. I know that Daytona and other stuff is really hyped, but I actually think Datejust might be the most iconic one. It's the most sold model. And by the way, Citizen just recently came out with the new watch. Let me show you this side by side. Look at this. Boom. That's the Citizen's newest watch that they released. Does that look familiar or does it look familiar? I wonder where they got the idea for this design. Huh? Huh? Anybody in the chat can tell me what they think this looks like? This is it just a coincidence or what's going on here? It's got a pretty nice movement there. Japan, water resistance to 50 meters, not bad. Pretty cool. Oh, and by the way, you can wear it with other jewelry and not be worried that it scratches because it's one of those disposable watches. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, they need a Mike says they just need a fluted version and I'll buy one. Oh, I think the fluted version is coming soon. If they got it this close, there has to be a fluted or some type of their own fluting that they're going to put on it. Because they had the previous model, which Daniel Katz owns, that looks like the Oyster Perpetual. This one looks pretty cool. They should do a book on this watch, huh? But I think that's why there's a book written on the Datejust, and I don't think there's ever going to be a book written on the Citizen. Well, on other models maybe, but this Citizen model is just a kind of little rip off. Also, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but there's new Royal Oaks that were released. Okay, whilst you guys voting on that one, check this out. Full collection of new kind of fun Royal Oaks. Let's see here. We've got like a rose gold with the salmon. These are using the new movements. And I think they're in smaller size. Also, look at that Audemars Piguet logo. That is quite beautiful. I think it's a 38 mil case size. They were able to shrink it down to like a lady's size almost. Look at that. Wow. 38 mil. One of 150 pieces. Interesting. Let's see here. Let me just go to the end. Let's see it. So the code 1159 is 38 mil. What? Holy shit. 38 mil. And then the Royal Oak. Let's see. How does this work? Let's see. Click here. Okay, 1 second. How does this work? What's going on?
To be precise, it's been 4,713,000,000 seconds we've been making watches.
Wow.
It all started in Le Brassus, a small village that went on to do rather big things. Thanks to its villages, people as wild and stubborn as the very landscapes that surrounded them. People saying yes to challenges when reality emphatically said no.
That's pretty good graphic. Wow.
A family believing in the importance of taking our sweet time when the world chose otherwise. Focusing, crafting, dreaming. Together as one, we are possessed by an untamable desire to seek beyond the ordinary.
Whoa.
A century and a half later, we're still that village. We're still those villages.
Wow.
And the beat goes on.
Holy shit. Wow. Okay. Very impressive. Okay, let's see what can we what is this? What the fuck? Okay, I'm not even sure what I'm looking at. What is all this stuff? What is this? What is this? Oh, this is the same video. No. Oh. Paused. Cultural clashes. Wow. This is so trippy. Is this every button is a different video? What the hell? Okay, I'm very confused. I'm not sure what the size is because let's see here. The basics. What the fuck? Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, yeah. So the Automotives PK have been waiting for the return of the downsized Royal Oak Perpetual Calendar in 38 mil. Fuck! No way. They did it. 38 mil with 9.4 millimeters thickness. Holy shit. Oh, I see. So that's the size of the movement that they had. And then the first model that they put out had an expanded case. Okay? So there were all these hour markers. Okay, here I'll bring up the first version. The hour markers went beyond the wheels. Okay, let's see. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, they stripped away one complication. The number of the week have been removed. Ah, I see. Wowzers. Okay, so if we go here, there you go. Okay, so on this model, on the big model, there is a number of the week complication and the whole rehot. And on this downsized model, they took away the rehot. Okay. You can see here, there's no rehot, and it's like a jumbo now with the two hand. You know what? I couldn't care less for the number of the week. It's cool to have. It's kind of weird, totally useless complication. But now look at the moon as well. And I've been lately, I've been super into the moon. I've been loving the moon. So I think it's an underappreciated complication, the moon phase. It's actually for human spirit, it's a really good complication to have because the moon actually has strong influence on us. And when it's a full moon, it does have certain effect on us that we don't really appreciate unless we know it. So yeah, oh man, I'm in love. I'm in love with these new complications. Great job, AP. I wonder how they did it. Oh, what? 100 meters of water resistance as well? Fuck me. That's incredible. Does it say on the back? 100 meters? They're not showing the back though, which is kind of funky. Oh, that's the old one. Yeah, that's the old one with the rehod. Yeah. And that's the new one with the mirror rehod. Interesting. I love the logo, by the way. They went from the digital one to the scripted logo. See here on this one, the Audemars PK is written in the classic, like modern Audemars PK font, and this new one has like the handwritten style of the logo. That's pretty freaking cool, right there. So cool. Wow. Audemars PK. Very elegant. Oh, and this is like a ladies version though, right? Because the the handwriting is delicate versus uh you know that digital font is very masculine. So it's interesting how they're going about doing this. Only 150 pieces. Are they both 150 pieces or one is unlimited? Let's see. So the watches is a permanent part of the collection. However, 100 pieces of each model will be produced with the historic font for the brand logo to commemorate the brand's 150th anniversary. Oh, it's just the oh man, that's so subtle actually. So this font logo, that's only for the 150 pieces. Wow. That is crazy subtle. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I wish there was more difference, like a limited edition dial, right? But they're like, no, just the font and the limited one of 150 on the back. Is that enough? Does it say a one of 150? It's not even this is the number. Holy shit. Wow. Anyways, guys, I think that's it for the today's episode. I hope I hope you guys enjoyed it. Pete Mitchell for joining us tonight on the stream. Guys, if you haven't followed him yet, go follow him on Instagram. I'll put the link in the chat. I'll put the link to his there you go, his Instagram. Go follow him on IG. Follow him on YouTube. And drop the link to his YouTube as well. There we go. There's the link to Pete's YouTube. Shout out to Mike Lewis for joining me tonight on the show. Talk watch. Great. Great having him on. Guys, upload and I'll be back tomorrow. And then soon I'm gonna start doing a day off, go to work videos. I have to start making videos. I have to grow the channel. So yeah, 3 hours. I have to do this to survive. It's hard. Also, guys, if you want to help out with the show, I would really appreciate it. You can donate for the show, I need to buy the new iPhone. So if you can send me PayPal or Venmo donation, I would really appreciate it. See you guys soon. Also, go to bookmark timbright.com. We're back. We're back online. timbright.com. Timbright is back, baby. We got our FAQs there. We got the blog. We're gonna start writing some stuff on here. Cool stuff. All right, guys.